Do you know, you may know the exact number, how many shows you guys have done as a group over the years?
Well, I mean, it would probably be 3,000 or 4,000, probably.
That's incredible. Like, when you started it, the first time the Velcro Pygmies played a joint together, did you have any idea it would be that kind of career for you?
No, God, no. I mean, that's why our name is so stupid. Literally, I came up with a name that would be, unusual but stupid, never thinking that this would last more than a couple of months. And it grew and grew and grew. And, here we are 1,000 years later, and I'm stuck with a stupid name.
Well, because I can remember being a kid, Cam. I grew up over in Anniston. You know where Anniston is?
I ever?
Yeah, we'd go up to Jacksonville, and you guys would be playing Brothers. The old, but it's closed now.
That's back in the days when Brothers was open till the sun came up. We would play there. We would play the Supper Club till the sun came up, and we would play Brothers till the sun came up.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid, my parents driving me past Brothers, and I would look up the sign and see Velcro Pygmies, and I would be like, what is that? And then I eventually went to school at Jacksonville State, and I learned what the Velcro Pygmies were.
It's a great, Jack State, and I'm old enough to remember when it was Jack State.
Yeah,
Great university, great party school. We still cross paths with a lot of people that graduated from there, and a lot of people that still talk about the legends of Brothers.
Have you been able to document the career, like in photos or now on your phone and videos? How have you documented all these years?
There's a lot of photo albums from the early years. We took a lot of pictures, and obviously digitally now. There's a ton of video. So we've got a pretty good collection of the. I put the band together in 1990, so that gives you an idea of how long we've been around. So we've been around to watch technology change. We've been around to watch music change. To give you an idea how long we've been around, our original guitar player, whenever I set up our first website, his comment to me was, I don't think this internet thing is going to really take off. So, so that gives you an idea how long we've been around.
That's amazing. I've heard another amazing story, and I want to know if it's bullshit or not.
Right.
But the owner of Jimmy John's, the guy that was Jim McElwain, took all the heat for being on the Shark. It ended up being the picture was the guy that owned Jimmy John's.
Right.
Yeah.
But there is a rumor out there, and you can confirm or deny, that for his birthday party, he flew you guys to his farm, and Bret Michaels opened for the Velcro Pygmies.
Well, okay, so those are two separate stories, but both are true. So we played for Jimmy John twice. We're flying back up there next month to play for him again. His son, Spencer, is actually involved in our nonprofit, Reach and Teach. So yes, we went up there, but at our first Jimmy John show, Jimmy Fallon played with us, and Vince Neil played with us. And then at the second Jimmy John show, the guys from Lit were there. Blake Shelton was there. Gwen Stefani was there. And get this, Emerald, the chef, he got up and played drums.
Wow.
Now, he can't play drums, but he got up there and played. So basically what we did was we told him to lay a beat down, and we played Sweet Home Alabama over top of that beat.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
If LT hasn't seen it, a Travis Kelce nugget that will prove we're near the end of Travis Kelce's career coming up a little bit later in the show. We've got NBA basketball reaction. We've got some amazing baseball stuff that is happening everywhere. We're going to talk some big college football. We always get big college football nuggets coming out of the region's tradition because so many SEC coaches and dignitaries are there. So we'll get to that. Welcome in to the show, Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, Forrester, Lunsford, Tyler, Tim Melton working on the meltdown for a little bit later on. A lot of empty chairs back there with you, Forrester, but it's like the back row of a Baptist church there. No, wait,
the front row.
Front row of a Baptist church there. Everybody wants to sit in the back there. Taylor Corn's handling everything social media, fresh off of a social media crazy trip out to the regions at Greystone. We got Emily Grace McWhorter also helping out with Kelsey and Reed up here. The whole crew fired up for what is show number 700 today. 700.
Yay!
Of this little podcast live show that we still don't know what to call it, that we're rolling.
Big milestone. I mean, that's almost 3 years.
That's almost 3 years, which is coming up very pretty soon.
Yeah, who were we talking? We were talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, man, I love what you guys are doing. How long's it been now, 18 months?
Yeah.
We're like, God, no.
It was yesterday. Somebody was
yesterday?
Like,
yeah. Yesterday's a blur to me, but 18
sometimes
months.
it seems like it's been 18 months. Sometimes it seems like it's been 3 years.
And this was not like some random person. This is, I can't even remember who we're talking to, and I hate to say that because he's probably watching right now.
It was the night before at Buffalo Wild Wings in Pell City
That's
with
right.
Lake Fest.
That's right. We were at Lake Fest at Pell City, and he was like, this has been, it's about 18 months. We're like, no, it's going on 3 years now. He's like, holy cow. But, I mean, he watches every day and still thought it had only been 18 months.
Yeah, sometimes it seems short. Sometimes it seems long. But 700 today, unless Lunsford's counting. And Lunsford's count will be kept by Brown over here, the alternate count. Show number 684.
Yeah, I got to finish my coloring.
Now,
684.
Is Lunsford going to be here today? No, I was just asking because I wanted to know what the count was.
Lance, hey.
I'm with you, 684.
No, 700. 700. I tweeted back when I sent 700 out this morning, and Lunsford's like, I can't believe the show's at 684 today. As he quote tweeted me, and I said, we actually count the shows when you're not here.
Yeah, it's amazing how he wants to debunk our show number. I don't know why it's such a big deal. Now, I know my math got bad when we were in Atlanta for the SEC Media Days 2 years ago, and that's when I was off like 40 shows. But I thought we got everything back on track because once he gave us a confirmation on the number, you started following it.
Yeah, I've been very, very strict about my counting. In fact, I think I could I've been so strict on this counting, I think I could actually count the Oscar votes next year. They could call me out and say, we appreciate the counting firm of Dunaway, Dunaway, and Dunaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm normal. I mean, that's, not my strengths aren't math, but I can typically count.
Typically. I like how you do typically.
Yeah.
That was a great joke the other night. I guess it was Jeff Ross. That's how Gronk counts to 5. Because they were talking about the LA Forum.
Forum.
Hey, I can't talk. I say more ums on this show than anybody up here.
Somebody in the chat room said best moment on this show was when Brian Harsin got fired. That has to be a top 5 moment.
Even Harsin laughs at it now. Like he didn't in the moment. I don't think he.
He started getting those checks.
Yeah, in the moment, I'm not certain he knew it occurred. But last year, when it was the 1 year anniversary of Harsin getting fired, with us dressed as idiots, dressed up like idiots for Halloween.
You were Ken before Barbie came out.
1 year before.
We were discussing it on social media, and Coach Harsin actually texted me and was like, hey, I was not aware of this until just now. This is really funny.
Yep.
And I'm like, look, Coach, we were not, having fun at your expense. He's like, oh, no, it's hilarious. Trust me, you don't have to apologize for anything. Even Coach Harsin now sees the humor in it.
So this is show 700 in most parts of the world. We'll let you sit back and enjoy that. We'll find out what unfolds. But we want to say thank you to everyone at the Regions Tradition for hosting us on the Drummond Company Pro-Am yesterday. An amazing scene out there with a great crowd again. The tournament rolls on today. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But just one of the amazing scenes of rolling up to number 10 where we were. This is Kalen DeBoer and the crowd that's following around and his foursome there as they get the new Alabama coach out. Now imagine a few holes back is Nick Saban, the legendary coach, and Hugh Freeze is a few holes up that's carrying a crowd like this as well. So you had 3 huge crowds like that moving around the course yesterday. Just a really good time out on the course. I love that event. We have content that's going to be kicking out More of it today. I think the next thing that's going to be part of our Coca-Cola conversations at some point is going to be Hugh Freeze's interview with us in the Coca-Cola room. But we sent out Nick Saban last night as the content continues to come out, just like last year from the Coca-Cola interview room. There's Hugh Freeze with us yesterday. It'll start coming out today and continue on into next week and the week after that. All that right there on our YouTube channel where we want you to like and subscribe. But yesterday, once they came off the course, once we were in the Coca-Cola interview room, our Coca-Cola conversation started going fast and furious. These are long-form conversations, and we had them stacked up like we're at the Atlanta airport waiting to hop on and do an interview.
Yeah, I try not to get anxious anymore, but boy, I got anxious when Riley Green had just jumped on with us. And literally, like a second after he jumps on and puts headphones on, DeBoer walks in. Yeah, and it's just standing there watching.
Yeah, waving at us, hey guys. They're like,
and I felt bad for Riley because I'm like, this guy has gotten pretty big.
Yep.
I was talking to our friend Ian Fitzsimmons. He's based out of Dallas, and he was like, my teenage daughters absolutely love him. And he told us he sold out Red Rocks next month.
That's
so,
right.
The guy's gotten really big, but we were almost like, let's try to shorten this, abbreviate it as much as we can.
Truthfully, in the past, if it had been Nick Saban or Kirby Smart in our other days,
we would have had to.
We'd have been like, hey, Riley, thank you for dropping by. I just want to get a quick word with you, man. Thanks for being with us. Good luck. A new album coming out soon. Nick Saban joins us now.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, so, all right, do you guys, Scott is showing a photo. I think Little T actually took that one. Of Riley Green and Kalen DeBoer. Do you guys remember?
Not a shot, Forrester, but it's just
What do you mean?
Likely, Taylor took that one.
No. I'm not saying that Scott didn't. I'm saying I didn't because this is part of the story, Jim. Do you guys remember the dream I had about Alabama's first football game? Do you guys remember any details of that dream?
Was Riley Green singing the national anthem?
Nope. I'm on the sidelines of Alabama's first game against Western Kentucky this year.
Right.
All right. And Kalen DeBoer has asked me to hold his cell phone. Do you guys remember that?
Nope.
God, do you guys listen to anything I say on this show? Rockstar, do you remember me bringing this up on the show?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So I had a dream that
it's got to be a good story for us to remember.
Well, this is not a great story, but I was at Alabama's first game this year, and Kalen DeBoer has asked me to hold his cell phone, and I'm holding the cell phone, and he keeps getting text, and I'm like, do I look at the text or not? You even said during the show, Brown, you got to look at the text. Well, if it's an emergency, you got to go interrupt him. I'm like, right. He's freaking coaching an SEC game. I'm not going to go interrupt him.
Well, if it's an emergency, you have to.
Yesterday, as we're wrapping up with Riley, Coach DeBoer is like, my daughters are huge fans of yours. And I said, Coach, you want me to get a picture, of you and Riley? He's like, yeah, I'd really appreciate that. He hands me a cell phone. And I'm like, whoa, it's kind of weird because it was in the dream. And as they're kind of getting, Coach is getting ready and Riley's getting ready, he's getting like 2 text messages. I'm like, holy crap, this is the dream. This is the dream.
Wow.
I'm just not on the sidelines of the Alabama game.
You're being saved from having to watch Western Kentucky, Alabama.
Dunaway would have jumped straight to his hidden photos.
What's going on top of Mount Rushmore?
Literally, his phone buzzed like 3 times just in the 30 or 45 seconds I'm holding it to take these photos of him and Riley Green for his daughters. Yeah. And I'm like, well, this was the dream. Here it is. Kind of weird.
Yeah, so that was really good. Just like last year, Rockstar and Little T bounced around out there, and there's so much more on our platforms as well. You got it on TikTok, you get it on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter. Here's a little snippet of Rockstar questioning some of the celebrities out there yesterday as he had free access inside the ropes on the 10th fairway.
Bubba, if I hit myself hard enough and I started crying, would you consider me a weak or a strong man?
Say that one more time.
If I hit myself in the face so hard that I just started crying in the fetal position, would you consider me that's a weak or a strong man?
Where I come from, you would be considered a dumbass.
I think we're from the same town.
Very strong.
If you punch yourself, I think you wouldn't have a lot of sense.
That's true. I'm not going to do it today.
Very weak man. Because if you hit your own self, it shouldn't hurt.
What if I was a strong man?
Strong man, yeah.
Oh, all right. John,
if you're going to do it, you got to knock yourself out.
Man, you got some loaded questions here. I would say strong. A weak man. I mean, if you fall down after getting hit, yes. But if you like just cry, like I think if you show all emotions within a day, I think that's a great day. Whether you laugh, you're happy, then you cry. Like I feel like that's a whole day of emotions.
Don't ever give up.
Do more of that.
ever give
up. It's a brilliant question though, because to knock yourself down, you've got to be a strong man to throw that big of a punch.
You got a weak ass man to take a punch.
It would be almost impossible to knock yourself out. Well, I think you could headbutt a wall and knock yourself out.
I bet John Daly has tried.
By the way, we're 2 for 2.
I'm sure.
We're 2 for 2 with John Daly. Like, hey, you want to get up out of the car? No.
Nope.
No.
You may
turn that down? Nope.
You may be 3 for 3.
I did get to catch up with Bubba Bussey when we were in the Coca-Cola room for a second, and he had really nice things to say about the show.
Yeah, Bubba's been a fan for a long time. We've known Rick and Bubba for a very long time. For those that aren't in Birmingham or aren't aware, radio legends, Rick and Bubba, and this is their final year together. So they're calling it quits. But yeah, had a lot of time to catch up with Bubba yesterday. He was in the dining room for quite a while. Yeah. If you know Bubba, that is no surprise.
I will say we had a going away party one time at Superior Grill. I think it was Adam Stocks. And, those things, people get invited. You don't expect people to show up. And this is when Rick and Bubba were big-time Birmingham celebrities or Alabama celebrities. And I remember Bubba taking time out of his day to show up and hang out for like an hour at Superior Grill.
Yeah, both good dudes, man. Rick and Bubba, they've gotten big, but they're good old boys.
Well, after retirement or when the show breaks up, I'd love to have Bubba in here for an hour.
Oh,
Bubba's already asked him.
Yeah, Bubba's welcome anytime. Rick is too. I mean, heck, we'll take anybody, Jeff.
It'd work out really good. All right. As we continue on here, show being brought to you by Dr. B. One thing everyone was buzzing about yesterday was Nick Saban's golf swing. Hugh Freeze bringing it, even though he's been working hard in the portal, turning that team around down on the plains. DeBoer's friendly atmosphere, friendly aura, signing autographs everywhere. And the fourth thing everyone was talking about yesterday was LT's hair.
Oh, wow.
My goodness.
Flowing in the breeze.
Right Dr. B working there, and they were like, they're going to turn Brown around.
Brown went to see him just a couple of weeks ago, and Brown, would you love it if your hair doubled in thickness?
Oh, Lance, my hair doubled in thickness? Yes. That'd be a dream come true.
I think it's a realistic goal for you.
Yep.
Again, when I went to see Dr. B less than 700 shows ago, when I started to thin out on this venture, asked around, everybody said Dr. Beckerstein is the man. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B and his team today. Schedule that consultation, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time. Again, the hair has more than doubled in thickness in less than 2 years. T3hair.net for more information.
We gave you all that information there about the Regions Tradition. The tournament starts today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is a great event, great social time out there. It's just not the Wednesday Pro-Am. It goes all weekend. You can always get your tickets at regionstradition.com, regionstradition.com. We appreciate those fine folks for hosting us out there yesterday. And I continued a tradition that the show has yesterday. Last year, and they joke about it in the media room, last year, Carrie and Taylor were laughing about this. Even when I got there at 6:50 yesterday, they were like, make sure Lance doesn't leave his bag this year. Remember you left it last year?
Yep.
So last night, as I'm cleaning out my car, it was about 9:30. I went for a little tipsy swim when I got home last night.
Well, that's dangerous. You can't swim. And you were in
I wasn't in the deep end, Brown. I wasn't in the deep end.
Where? But you're in the you're in the water, sauced up.
Yeah, I was floating well, both in and out of the pool. So, Maggie had somewhere to go, so I went on out.
She had somewhere to go.
Went on out by the pool
by
myself.
Where are you going? I'm just driving around. Yeah. Shut up.
I didn't get invited down to trivia, so everyone else apparently was there, so I rolled on out to the pool by myself. And
he didn't get invited to trivia. We literally do the commercial every week.
You're invited every
week.
So I'm sitting there in the pool, and then I go, dry off. I go to clean my car out and carry it inside, and I'm like, that blazer I have to wear when I'm doing the announcements on the first tee for all the celebrities, left that thing out there at Greystone. So I had to call Carrie, and I was like,
oh, you left your blazer?
Hey, I left my blazer out there. And she's like, we got it.
Yep.
Tell Brown he's on the clock for next year.
Nope.
LT's bag. And then
the bag made it home with me. What did not make it out was our intro for Roman and Barkley.
Oh, we never got it on the show.
Yeah, it's on the on-demand part, but you never said it on the show. And I have now heard them, and the Barkley one is some of Lance's best work.
No way I could have done that on the first tee, though.
You could have.
100% you could have.
Yeah.
Barkley would have.
Barkley would have. I think he would have stopped and like put hands on these.
Yeah, he'd have laughed.
He would have had to take
He
a
would have
double take.
laughed, but do you think it would have been appropriate with everyone else?
Who cares?
I am representing us when I'm on the first team.
Oh, they know us well enough.
Such a high bar.
Yeah.
I think you ought to be more concerned about representing the actual tournament.
But, Barkley's going to have a roast, and, I don't even know if we should unleash it. I wonder if I save it and sell it to one of these comedians.
Well, I mean, it's on the Roman Harper when we dropped the Coca-Cola conversation. It is on there because you read both of them because one of them was about Roman. You don't want to drop it right now?
Oh, we can,
To everybody?
Yeah, we can. You don't want to do it?
I have a hard time saying the O word.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
I told it to Rockstar last night. Should we drop it, Rocky?
Yeah.
Did you think it was funny? I thought it was very funny.
I don't know how you have a hard time dropping that word.
Well, I mean, there's certain words I can't say.
Orgasm.
Okay, here we go. So just imagine Dunaway's on the first tee, Hall of Famer, best broadcaster ever, blah, blah, blah. And the only thing that has been through more overweight, older white women than Charles Barkley is Ozempic.
Pretty good.
It's a hilarious lie.
And Charles would have loved it.
Yeah.
Nobody would have laughed harder than Charles.
Yeah. I just didn't think.
You think that's when Hallman looks at you and he's like,
yeah,
we're going to find another on the first tee.
I've gradually gone. I've taken this on my own and gone gradually from just generic, the 7-time national champion. I've tried to throw a little roast-like one-liner in
try
there
to
every
inject
time.
a little humor,
Yeah. So I would step down that road 2 years ago. Last year I went a little deeper, and this year I was just thinking of a one-liner for everybody.
Do you introduce the professional golfers as well?
I just leading us off for the 820 group. This is David Toms.
You gotta roast them too. Can I help you next year on them?
I don't. Those guys they got a lot going on the first tee. I don't want to upset them.
Nah, that's a bunch of old men just collecting a paycheck.
Yeah. I mean,
they're living their retirement.
I would think those guys would appreciate it. They do this every week, right?
Yeah.
Well,
something new.
The camera guy who shoots for NBC, who was up there shooting some stuff and doing interviews with Nick and Hugh and a couple of people with their pros, he came back and says, "Hey, you're actually doing a really good job. This is funny."
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does this every week, and it's normally the ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Welcome out to beautiful Greystone, the Founders.
Yes. I'm sure he gets the boring ones every week.
Took a lot of heat on the Albee one on social media, but people know about a good laugh or two there. But it was a fun day yesterday. We appreciate regionstradition.com. Go enjoy it the rest of the weekend. So that was the one joke we didn't get to yesterday that I promised you, and we forgot. So there we go. We got that out there to you. Bobby with a comment there. I think
I don't know.
Steer away from that, Jim.
Some of that is true. Some of it's not true. Had a chance to meet out in Arizona. So it was fun. Got to see. Rockstar's got our 4 downs later on. One more thing here in this opening segment, and then we'll get to your sports headlines. Everything's going on. The Lake Fest that's going on over in Lake Logan Martin, I thought Cam, our interview with the Velcro Pygmies lead singer yesterday, was really good, and it gets lost because of so much content we're putting out yesterday. Go back and check it out. At the end of the show yesterday, all of our shows are always up on YouTube. Was it just me, or was that an interesting interview? I mean, I found it very interesting. Was it just because I've seen them so many times that I found it fascinating?
Probably helped, yeah.
Yeah, but I think if anybody's seen them and you know who we're talking about, I think it's definitely worth the watch because there's depth to that guy. The only time I see him, he's drinking Fireball and, he's bringing girls on stage. And, you can tell that he cares about entertaining, getting people's money worth, and then he cares about giving back to the community, especially the kids.
But my... I just say you lose track of time, I guess, right? I mean, time is a flat circle.
I don't think time hits him at all. He looks the same.
He doesn't. I mean, he still looks good, but they've been doing it he's an original member, Cam is, right?
Oh, yeah.
He started the band.
1990, he said.
I saw them at Brothers at Jacksonville State. I am 48, okay? Saw them at Brothers when I was in school at Jacksonville State. Last night, I took my oldest daughter home from college and her best friend, also home from Auburn, and the interview came up, and she had seen them at Auburn this year, her friend. And I'm like, I saw them at College Street. She said, my dad did too. My dad was like, you're going to see the Velcro Pygmies.
Yeah, you understand that with the Rolling Stones.
I
my
know.
parents saw them, I saw them, but not with the Velcro Pygmies.
Yeah.
I mean, that just, because that has been a long time since I saw them at Jacksonville State. And then my daughter's friends are seeing them at Auburn now, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy's been doing this a long time.
And they're just as good as they once were.
Yeah.
You know, there's a local band that's in that genre that I saw a couple of years ago, and they don't play, like, at least consistently, Velcro Pygmies are playing different dates. This band had gotten back together, and it was tough.
Yeah, Lake Fest is going on this weekend. You can see the Velcro Pygmies. Is that Saturday night, free concert?
Yeah, that free concert is Saturday night, but they're going to have, what is tonight, Thursday?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I can't even keep up. It's been an interesting week.
Yep.
Anyway, they've got the live music all weekend long, but the Velcro Pygmy Show, that's going to be Saturday night. It's Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by Am First. We were able to catch up with our buddy Phil Boozer yesterday. May 10th through the 12th, Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free admission for the public. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend. Fireworks show on Friday night. Free mimosas for Mom on Sunday. It is Mother's Day. Really cool there. For more information on this incredible event, LoganMartinLakeFest.com. That's LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
All right, a lot to get to on the show today, including some sound from Kalen DeBoer in our interview in the Coca-Cola room, Hugh Freeze on a big topic, Nick Saban, who joined us. We'll get to some of that as we move through it. Our reaction to the NBA coming up in the next segment. One note from Major League Baseball. First off, Chris Sale, fantastic last night for you Braves fans, 10 strikeouts. They shut out the Red Sox. Phillies finally lose again, so the Braves pick up a game to cut it to 2 very early in that race there. Phillies, by the way, won 8 of the last 10, 18 of their last 22, so they've been on fire. But Pittsburgh is calling up Paul Skeens. We talked about this briefly on the show yesterday. And it's being called the most anticipated start in Major League Baseball since Steven Strasburg in 2010.
Wow. I was going to say Strasburg.
Yeah.
But you look at this kid, just a year out from the College World Series. He's got a sub-1 ERA with 45 strikeouts in 27 of the third innings. AAA. Well, those are good ball players.
Yeah,
he has dominated.
He's motored through the minors, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I thought, the guy was battling injuries.
Yeah.
But he's changed the way he pitched from college to the big leagues, I was reading this morning. But when you go 45 Ks in 27 innings.
That's insane.
That means, we talked about how hard it is to get them to swing and miss. That a no-hitter, putting ball in play and your defense playing well or just weak grounders is one thing. But to have 20 strikeouts in the game like the anniversary of the Kerry Woods 20 strikeout game the other day this week, to have 45 strikeouts in 27 innings, the simple math there, you're almost getting 2 strikeouts an inning.
Yeah, and I don't know what this number is going to be against the Cubs. Do we know if that's in Pittsburgh or Chicago?
I feel like you wouldn't start him on a road game. You'd use that as a home game.
Well,
to get
I was
a crowd.
about to bring this up. When you have an NFL quarterback making his first start,
they're
it's
hosting
like,
the Cubs.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah.
But I think Skeens has got the advantage here.
Oh, do you over the Cubs?
Just because they really,
they haven't seen him.
Yeah, they've watched him pitch, but being in the box against him is a little bit different. So I fully expect him to go out and have a quality start.
Yeah, and it's not like, the Pirates are calling it up. It's not like the Pirates are a terrible team and they've just already tanked. They're not the White Sox after all, Scott. They haven't just tanked the season here. This is a team that is still alive against the Cubs. And
yeah,
the Brewers
five games back, 4 games under.
But they're not dead for the year. This guy can make a difference.
Yeah, a new episode of The Pennant Grace with Emily McWhorter and our buddy Ush drops later today and tonight. You'll get that. It's our baseball podcast for you Braves fans and other baseball news throughout. Later on in a week or so, we'll get a nice conversation that we had yesterday. Surprisingly, one of my favorite interviews yesterday was the former National League Cy Young Award winner who joined us on set.
Jake Peavy was incredible. He really was. And, I wouldn't have noticed that was Jake Peavy. He looked more like a rock star.
Yeah.
Like you see him with the sleeve tat. He's just got kind of the bushy hair. He's got one of those interesting looks where, he could have been like a model for Abercrombie & Fitch. Just kind of one of those in-between, unique-looking dudes. And when you were like, there's Jake Peavy, I was like, damn, that is Jake Peavy.
Yeah.
And I told him the story when we got off the air with him. His rookie season, I knew he was from Mobile, and I reached out. I found out what hotel they were staying at. This is how we used to get guests way back in the day.
I remember,
And dialed it up. Jake Peavy's room. Hello, he's still in the sheets. Said, hey, we're Birmingham-based. Would love to have you on. A lot of Mobile listeners, and he was nice enough to come on back then. And great to me. That was
cold called an interview in a hotel room.
I've done
Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and I've
and,
been,
and got it.
Some nasty stuff has been said.
Yeah,
So,
I'd have been like, no way, dude.
But, when you're at that point, Jake's 21, 22, and probably cool that he doesn't get a lot of interview requests, especially that was in 2002. So it was a long time ago. But anyway, he was just so nice. And again, of all the interviews we did yesterday, I know it's not going to pop out because it's Jake Peavy and we're centrally located when it comes to college football, and you've got DeBoer and Sabin and Freeze on. But the most entertaining, in-depth interview yesterday was Jake Peavy.
He was terrific, and he'll be making some more appearances during our show coming up, and I think everyone will really like him. The key was, so Major League Baseball used to publish for the media where the team stayed. Like, they told you where they stayed on the road, so you knew the hotel.
Oh, wow.
The vast majority of the big names did not stay under their own name, so you would have to play the game of, let me get a guy that would be good enough to interview that people would know, but he's probably small enough he's still staying under his own name.
Oh, I see.
So that's the game you'd have to play. You'd have to look at the roster, and you'd have to get one of the mid-tier guys. Yeah.
And even the smaller guys would do it just for fun. My buddy stayed as Jeff Spicoli all the time.
Yeah, those are good. Barkley had some good ones over the years.
James Bond.
All right, here we go. Show number 700 to 684 as we continue today on the show that's being brought to you by Gutter Cap, our friends at Gutter Cap. Tell us about C-Stu.
I'm going to get to see C-Stu today. Can't wait. Just one of the best human beings. Trust me, these guys would vouch for him. Rocky vouches for him. Just an incredible guy and does incredible work. Look, the last thing you want to do is clean the gutters out. You're going to have to do it once a year at least if you don't have the Gutter Cap system on your home. If you've been procrastinating, don't clean them out again. C-Stu and the guys that will come out with Gutter Cap, they'll give you that free estimate. They will clean the gutters one final time. Gutter Cap is a patent aluminum panel, fits over most existing gutters. It will keep all the debris out. Don't get on the roof. It's dirty. It's dangerous. You slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Cap it. Don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Back with you on the Next Round as we continue on. LTD and B with you here. Always brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy them poolside, lakeside, or beachside this year. NBA fun last night. We'll jump into that, brought to you by our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com. Everyone enjoying some good basketball and some controversy.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Nothing controversial about them, Jim. They have repriced both lots there, and they are so confident in their pricing that they will beat any price on a comparable RV nationwide. That is their guarantee. Just bring them the price on a comparable RV, and they will beat it. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Don't forget the RV Warranty Forever. Covers everything new and qualifying used with a lifetime warranty. JohnstonRVCenter.com, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
My favorite part last night was Madison Square Garden chanting, F you, Reggie, not using the F you, the real word. And then Josh Hart actually walking over to the TNT broadcast crew and saying, yeah, they're saying Reggie, and just a confirmation there.
Yeah, I was watching the other night when Brian Anderson, who's the play-by-play guy, was like, Reggie Miller joins us for game 2, and Stan Van Gundy was like, I might take that night off. Van Gundy's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is. But, I mean, you know, we talked about this a couple of days ago. I mean, that was one of the greatest comebacks in postseason history, or sequences at least.
Yeah, and to do it at the Garden, one of the great sports venues of all time. Knicks win at 130-121 last night. 2-0 lead now for the Knicks as they go to Indianapolis. But Brownie hinted about this in the first segment, so I'll let him jump in here. Rick Carlisle ejected. He had said that they had 29 calls in Game 1 that they disagreed with and sent a clip up to the NBA offices. And then last night he said they will have more in this game.
Yeah, I think it's 40-something. I think they're up to 70-some-odd calls. 78 that they have sent to the league office now from 2 games. And then afterwards, Carlisle had some interesting comments, and there was a lot of talk about, hey, the small market team ought to have a chance in this. I mean, I brought up after Game 1 that there was already this bubbling conspiracy that the NBA is in for the Knicks in this series. And Rick Carlisle and the Pacers are now leaning full in to that conspiracy theory.
Double down on it.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to be on a podium and saying, quote, small market teams deserve an equal shot.
I mean, how do you say that?
They deserve a fair shot no matter where they're playing. What's going to be absolutely fascinating is Game 3 back in Indiana.
Right.
You know, what are the officials going to do? That's one of those games I would not want to officiate.
And Carlisle got tossed at the end of the game. It was already decided. You know, you had the controversial double dribble. And Carlisle went ballistic on that one, and I think the refs knew that they screwed it up so badly that they were just going to let Carlisle go all he wanted on that one. And I think he was trying to get tossed there, and the officials wouldn't toss him. So he just later on, for effect, Lance got tossed to miss the end of the game.
Yeah, to me, Game 2 and Game 1 were a little different. I mean, Game 1, the obvious, call down the stretch, the offensive foul, the non-kick ball that wasn't called, or was called and shouldn't have been called, those 100% affected the outcome. I think Indiana probably wins Game 1 if that happens. Game 2, I just think it carried over. But the biggest problem for Indiana right now is they're not playing defense. I mean, the Knicks shoot 65% in the second half of Game 1. They shot 67% in the third quarter of Game 2 last night, where they kind of took command of that game. So Indiana's got to look at themselves here. And I just wonder if they're going to be able to keep emotions in check for Game 3.
Once you start complaining about the officiating as a coach, then your players, it trickles down to them. Now they're upset about every call.
You're going to get a lot of this.
Yeah, they're upset about every call.
Well,
got to win Game 3 if you're Indiana. That's an unspoken rule, right? You go down 3-0, you never come back.
Yeah, I mean, but do you think it will lead to them getting more calls?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I don't either.
I mean, like if I'm an official, I'm like, hey, like Rick Carlisle, like Nick Saban. I think is one of those guys that can demand calls. Phil Jackson back in the day, Pat Riley. Rick Carlisle's been a great coach for a long time. He's got a championship, but I don't know if he's one of those guys that's going to intimidate an official where Rick Carlisle really needs his calls tonight.
Well, I don't know if you're trying. You're probably trying to intimidate the officials, but I think ultimately what you're trying to do is get the NBA office to say, listen, we've got a perception here. We just need I don't believe there's a conspiracy in this, Jim. I really don't. I don't believe the NBA has said we need the Knicks in a year.
Thank you for saying that. I was worried about you.
In a year where some of our media rights are up, we need the Knicks, a big market team that hasn't won this thing in forever, to at least make the conference finals against the Celtics. I don't know that they could stage it enough for the Knicks to beat the Celtics as well as the Knicks playing right now, even then. But if they can at least get them in the conference finals, that will be a highly rated conference finals, Boston and New York. Would it benefit the league? Absolutely. Has the league told the officials, you make sure it happens? I don't believe that, Lance.
Yeah,
I
don't think you can.
But what you would hope is that somewhere today, if you're Rick Carlisle, Adam Silver's having a conversation with somebody saying, all right, there's a perception out there. Tell the guys, at least make certain on don't let this perception, especially when they're playing in Indiana, grow.
Well, yeah, and just in basketball, the change of venue being Indiana at home, you expect them to get more calls than they do on the road. That's just the way basketball works. But we deal with this in all sports, right? We deal with, back in the day, Greg Maddux, when he was pitching, it felt like he had such a great relationship with the umpires. They kept giving him an inch and a half off the outside corner. Rupp Arena calls for Kentucky. Alabama, they never get called for a holding with their offensive lineman.
Superstar preferential treatment. Yeah. You get it all the time, and you're right on the calls at home.
Couldn't breathe on Jordan.
Because, we've talked to players before that love to silence a road crowd. They love to be booed. Officials don't want to get booed. If they get caught up in the action, home teams typically get calls.
Cleveland and Boston, Dallas and OKC tonight, both games on ESPN, not on TNT. TNT has the hockey this evening as you enjoy the playoffs into the summer months coming up here. The show being brought to you by the wonderful folks at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Way to Wellness is a company that I don't know how Lunsford and Melton feel, but literally saved my life a few years ago. My blood pressure and cholesterol numbers were way out of whack. And, instead of going on some medication for the rest of my life, I decided to see if I could just eat differently and change those numbers. And Leslie and her board-certified team came up with a plan specifically for me, not really focused on weight loss, just the foods I was eating, and the lack of certain things I was not getting that actually was, killing my body with cholesterol and with my blood pressure. And they helped me so much to where I'm not dependent on certain medications every day the rest of my life. And I cannot tell you how awesome these folks are. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. You can get details about how you can get a free consultation like you're seeing right here on our screen. Aplanforme.com. Aplanforme.com is the website. Go check that out. No contracts, no sign-up fees. And the first consultation is free. Great folks right there. It is Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. The Meltdown guys are on with Way to Wellness as well. You can check them out live today, 2 o'clock Central every day on this platform and everywhere else. Just check out The Meltdown with Lunsford and Melton. The playoffs continue there. We got a big football game here in town with the Stallions hosting St. Louis, 3 o'clock. If you're an Alabama fan, before that Stallions game at 2 o'clock on the South Terrace, Antonio Langham, Bobby Humphrey, Deuce, David Palmer, Trent Richardson will be there signing autographs. So if you want to go check that out, you can do that this weekend. Amazing media thing has happened over the last day. And the professional WNBA debut of Caitlin Clark will be streamed live on Disney+. Live on Disney+. It'll be the first live stream sporting event on Disney+. It's not on ESPN+. It's on Disney+. Now, they sort of intertwine, but they are putting her debut on Disney+. And to me, who was it that was telling us that it was Clay, that only Netflix, the only streaming service that has made money to date. If people are watching Caitlin Clark, instead of putting it over the air, this first game, she'll do a lot of over the air games, but this first game on a streaming only platform seems to be smart business.
Now, this is a regular season game. It's not a preseason.
It's her WNBA debut next Tuesday.
Okay.
Regular season game on Disney Plus.
Well, so your hope would be, obviously, the reason they do this is so that people are like, well, I got to pay for Disney Plus now to watch this, and I don't know what kind of audience it will bring. On Disney Plus, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a package for me. I don't know how Lunsford does it, but it's a Disney Plus package for me that I get Hulu and ESPN Plus.
Right.
So that's the way I do that. All three of those are together.
I mean, I've got Disney Plus. I really rarely use it. I forgot the reason I got it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like you. Once I get locked in on one of these things, I kind of float with it. But there is zero chance I will watch this.
What are you paying for that per month? Do you know what you pay for that package? Does Lunsford know what it is?
Lunsford, I think I paid $13 for the trio.
I think it's $12.99 for that trio, and they're actually doing one now that you can get Max included in it too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that'll be like $20 or something.
HBO Max or Cinemax?
The Max is
just
all
Max. It's just Max now.
Yeah, it's all one thing now.
Max includes Discovery Plus too.
They've merged a lot of things.
We used to have that, and that was called cable, where you could get all those things together.
You're
for
100%.
price. Yes.
I guarantee they're about to have a plan that they're all going to get together for like $100 a month. You can get every single streaming platform.
Yeah,
it's basically like this cable at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we need to do. You know, the only thing that jumps for me, most of these things are like $15 or $20. I think YouTube TV is now like $79.
Well,
I think that's right.
What upsets me, I remember it was about 2 or 3 years ago because I've been on it, and you get a email saying your charges go from $65 to $80 because we're giving you BET, Comedy Central, and something else. Like I don't want them.
Yeah,
I give you the option.
Those.
Do I want to add them? Yes or no. Don't start charging me for it.
Well, yeah. And that's why, Jim brought it up to Clay. That's what everybody used to say is, boy, if we could just get to a la carte pricing, that's what I want. And then you see how much the a la carte pricing is, and there isn't an appetite for it. So now everybody's doing what we're just talking about. They're trying to find drafting partners, team up, offer a package so they can offset the cost of ESPN with Hulu. And again, we're going to end up with cable. It's just going to be streaming.
$1 a channel. You get to pick your channel. You pay $1.
I'm sure they would love that.
That seems fair.
Yeah,
right?
It does.
Travis Kelce is starting his acting career.
Oh,
he will,
I knew
he will be
story.
featured in the FX horror series that debuts this fall called Grotesquerie. I hope I'm saying that right. Grotesquerie. It's a new FX horror series coming this fall. Travis Kelce will be acting.
He's hard to watch act like a dick. And now he is going to try his hand in acting.
Yes.
Do you think they said, we're 2 episodes in, I know, but is there any way you could get Taylor to do
there's no doubt.
A cameo?
Yeah. She loves to do cameo acting.
Yeah,
She's done
we
CSI.
had no intentions when we hired you. We just thought it would be kind of cool right now.
Yeah. You got like you said, you got to wait a few episodes so it's not so obvious what you're doing there. But that is 100% what they're going to do. Is there an athlete that, and now this is not going to be extensive acting, right? I mean,
I don't know. I would imagine no.
How big is this series?
It's debuting in the fall on FX, so I don't know. But FX had, what was that?
Lunsford saying it's Ryan Murphy, so he's the guy that did The Shield.
He did American Horror Story. He did Glee.
Right.
He did the American Crime Story, like The People versus O.J. Simpson and stuff like that.
Oh, so this is not fly by night.
He's had great success.
Ryan Murphy's a huge guy. It's just. But this looks like a kind of a spinoff almost of like American Horror Story.
But Lunsford, you'll give me like in one of those American Horror Stories, Kim Kardashian was the lead.
She's in the most recent one. Like Lady Gaga was one of the main characters in one of them. I mean, and it's had a ton of really good people in it too, but he's the king of going out and finding these kind of random people to be a part of it. So might as well capitalize on this.
But I mean, there's probably an obvious answer to this, but somebody that has had a consistent acting career that has continued to perform at a high level athletically, like at the same time?
At the same time, because some actors have gone on.
Jim Brown retired.
Jim Brown retired to
act,
to be a full-time actor.
Yeah, Hogan's acting in both spots. Though.
You remember The Rock?
Again, acting in both spots.
Fred Dwyer did Hunter after being a Ram.
Yeah, but that was after being a Ram. Merlin Olsen was after.
OJ.
OJ was after his career.
Was after.
Yeah, and you said Dan Marino. That was just like a spot deal on Ace Ventura.
You know what they all had in common? They were shitty actors.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. But I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, has this
John Cena? But this is
again.
That's acting both ways.
He's acting on both spots.
Yeah, the only one that's legitimate, I think, is the Dave Bautista guy.
Yeah, but Joe
Same thing,
Joe Namath Like he was doing a variety show and still playing quarterback for the Jets, or was that after his career?
No. He was. No, that was 1969.
So that was during their heyday. Yeah. Okay.
That was after the Super Bowl. So probably 1970, 71, 72 with the famous sports writer whose son worked at ESPN for a long time. I can't remember.
Oh, Dick Schaap?
Dick Schaap was
Jeremy Schaap.
Well, Jeremy Schaap's
was
the
son.
son.
Dick Schaap was sort of his co-host.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did a show together.
Joe Namath and Dick Schaap did a variety show together.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I never knew that part of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, but you see my point a lot, right? Like, not many people have been able to balance both of these, or have tried anyway. So, you're saying this is a sure sign Travis Kelce's in his final days as an NFL player, you think?
Yeah, just got that new contract, and I would imagine this is his last contract. With the NFL team. Football this weekend, 3:00 down there at Protective for St. Louis in town, 5-1 against the unbeaten 6-0 Stallions. We'll talk to Stallions defensive tackle Carlos Davis coming up in 2 hours in the final segment of the show. Hugh Freeze and us yesterday talking about the changing NIL landscape of college football and how it could be coming to an end or getting some firm footing in a very quick amount of time. That was part of the conversation. You see the still shot there. You'll hear from Hugh Freeze when we come back on the other side. The show is being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them is our friends at Hemphill LT.
The number you need to write down, make sure that AC unit ready to keep up with this changing weather, 205-229-2090. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys. Hit Hemphill Services. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Hey, and don't forget the golf cart's still available right now. Nextround.store, Nextround.store, Cross Creek, Limestone Springs, the Meadows, and the newly renovated historic Woodward Golf Club. All right there on one card, presented by Urology Centers of Alabama. It is one price right there for 18 holes of the cart. $99 is that price. That is a $247 value, so a huge savings. You get the deluxe card for $119. Get an exclusive golf shirt. You get a koozie. You get some stickers from the Next Round. You get a lot of stuff there. Nextround.store. Limited time. There are no restrictions, but there are limited amounts, so get yours now. Nextround.store. That's Nextround.store.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Birmingham, your Stallions take on former Crimson Tide quarterback A.J. McCarron and the St. Louis Battlehawks on Saturday, May 11th at 3 p.m. It's Braves Day. You get to meet Braves mascot Blooper and get a free custom baseball card. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-field opportunities for the kids, and elite professional football. Tickets start at just $10. Buy yours today at theufl.com. With only 3 home games left this season, don't miss the chance to cheer on the unbeaten Stallions. Let's pack Protective.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call GutterCapBirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Okay, I'm going to need your full attention in the chat room here. Our great chatters over there that you guys are the heartbeat of the show. We love your input all the time, because I think this is what I'm about to say may be obvious to some,
okay,
but I think it needs to be said. Per player, in pro sports, what do we say? Which money is best? NFL money, NBA money, baseball money? When it comes to
now it's gotten all out of whack with Shohei making the money he's making. I would say for a group of individuals, I would say NBA money is still the most.
Okay. Yeah, in college, go ahead, Brownie.
Well, I was going to say baseball money probably does less to your body than any of those. I think
162 games.
It's a long grind, but you don't come out with some of the same injuries.
In the NIL world, it is basketball money, folks. The Athletic did a study yesterday. Wow. Listen to this. A source tells The Athletic yesterday they estimated big-time transfers this offseason. A starter in major college basketball, our starter was getting $200,000 to $300,000 in the portal. All conference player, $500,000 to $750,000 in the portal.
This is on average.
And a high-end portal player, $800,000 to $2 million offers, and they do reference Cliff coming to Alabama after receiving a $2 million offer from another school and taking less to come to Alabama. But, I mean, you compare that to what you hear in football terms, and I think it's because, obviously, there's fewer players on a basketball roster. And
1,000%.
One player, two players can make such a big difference, but just a starter in the $200,000 to $300,000 NIL guarantee to get you out of the portal, $500,000 to $750,000 for an all-conference player at somewhere else, and then the high-end guys, $800,000 to $2 million in that neighborhood. That's big money.
It is big money, but the other side of that is football is your money maker. So you would think the bigger investment, Lance, would go into the football players than the basketball. I know they're fewer.
Yeah, well, you're spending a lot more money on football.
But I guess the per player average is going to get weighted down in football because a backup linebacker is going to portal one place and maybe get a small deal. So, I can see that.
Like Brian Kelly's comments we talked about yesterday. Some more stuff by our buddy Chris Marler, who is working down in Baton Rouge, used to be with Saturday Down South, Vern Funquist on social media. He pointed out that it was a defensive tackle that they needed, and he was asking for $750,000, $850,000, I forget the exact number, to come to LSU out of the portal. Maybe it was $1.2 million, but it was whatever it was. It was going to make him the highest NIL deal on the football team. And, to Brian Kelly's, if you've got one defensive tackle, how can you explain that to your quarterback or your wide receiver, your starting two corners, that our highest paid player is this defensive tackle I just got out of the portal? It does become a precarious situation when you got 85 guys, a little less complicated when you only got 13.
If we stay away from the quarterback position, let's just say a guy like Janai Broome for Auburn. A guy like, let's use Jahmyr Gibbs for Alabama. Which one of those guys is more important? Who do you think deserves more money?
Well, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to impact the football team, which is, again, that is your money maker. That's the one I am going to make my biggest investment in. Janai Broome probably would be more integral to your team winning a national championship.
Yeah, because he's one of five on the floor at one time.
And that's why I was blown away when I heard the Sears number was $250,000. Now, that has been debunked. And, again, that was from somebody that's really close to the program, and I was like, there is just no way $250,000 for a guy like Sears.
By this Athletic report, starter, 200, 300, Mark Sears and Janai Broome both check those boxes, all conference, They both check that boxes. They're both All-Americans. They would both fall into high-end portal guys. If both of them hit the portal. So they, according to Athletic, they're going to be between 800 and 2 million.
Now again, Sears and Broom, with a type of season that they just had. I'm just saying the type of season they just had or slightly better are Naismith Player of the Year level guys.
Oh,
I mean, I think either one of those guys, if Alabama and Auburn are as good as people think they are going to be right now, top 10 teams challenging for a 1 seed. Both those guys could be National Player of the Year easily.
One more thing on the NIL from our buddy Hugh Freeze from yesterday after LT tells us about our friends at Hydra Live. Man, coming off a long day on the golf course yesterday into our Coca-Cola chat room and maybe a cocktail and last night with trivia, Hydra Live, a bag there probably sounds pretty good to get the fluids back up.
Yeah, look, I know you guys probably, just guessing, will be playing golf at some point next week.
100%.
I have a big golf trip coming up next Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
If you want me to get Hydra Live in studio, maybe Thursday to get you hydrated for that golf trip, we can do that. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. You can boost your immune system with our friends at Hydra Life Therapy. IV therapy treatments packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost that immune system, and much more. Ask about the member rewards. You're going to save a lot with that. Tell them the next round sent you. 20% off any order when you tell them TNR. 2 locations in Birmingham, the one in Homewood, also Highway 119 in Greystone. For more information on our friends at Hydra Live, they're open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Go online, hydralivetherapy.com.
Hey, feel free as I get older, just put up that still shot of the work here. As I get older, remind me when I've got wardrobe things not working. I had my pass, my media pass looped around my belt from hole number 1. So every picture and everything from 6:45 on yesterday is that little thing hanging off my belt tucked in my back right pocket because I didn't need that pass again the rest of the day.
What do you people think it's what?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying because I sit here and look at it now and I've noticed it in a couple of pictures. I was like, next time you guys just like Josh Maxson, Alabama.
You noticed the weirdest things.
Josh Maxson helped me out. When he walked up with DeBoer, he's like, hey, I just hugged somebody who just came up and gave me a hug.
Yeah.
And my collar got out of whack. He walked up and he's like, hey, do you want both collars out or both collars in? Because right now you're yinging and yanging. And I said, I want them both in. And he fixed my collar for me.
Oh, what a nice guy.
I was like, thank you, Josh.
Take care of Jim and wipe your mouth. Wipe your mouth.
Yeah. And enunciate.
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze in our Coca-Cola conversations yesterday out there at the Regions Tradition, regionstradition.com, and enjoy all those great Coke products you'll see on our desk here in these interviews. We were talking to him about NIL. I want you guys to elaborate on what he told us about Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri after you hear this soundbite right here.
I got 18 months, though, and then we're going to be at a different system. Do you think this is
I think it's 12
long-term?
months. I'm
12
hopeful.
months? Yeah.
My AD thinks 9 to 12 months that it's going to be on campus, hopefully, and the case will be settled out in the 9th Court in California. And then it will come down to how in the world we get protected, like the NFL, I think, to do a contract that you have to honor.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like my contract. If I walked away from Auburn today to another place, somebody's got to pay that $3 million.
That's right.
Or whatever it is. I'm not saying it's that. I don't know what my buyout is, but somebody's got to pay it.
You know what your buyout is.
I honestly don't. But I'm not planning on leaving. But my point, you know what my point is it should work the same. If a kid is going to sign a contract with us, he should honor it. Or if he's going to go to another school, then somebody's got to pay the remainder of that.
That's right. You get some sort of, maybe not a trade for a player, but you get cash value.
We're not ever going back from the NIL not being part of it.
No.
But we can curtail all this portal stuff by teaching them real-life lessons about contracts.
And then he, before that, we got to that part of the soundbite, had explained to us how right now Missouri, because of state laws, and Eli Drinkwitz has a little bit of an advantage over some other SEC schools.
Brown, you might be able to explain this better, but the way I took that is Missouri, at least the University of Missouri system, you can take out of the major kitty there. Auburn is handcuffed where they're only able to take out of the athletic budget.
Out of their collective to pay NIL.
The
school,
collective,
The school can't use TV money, ticket sale money, or any of that. He made it sound like
Which
Eli.
doesn't make any sense. Like the school should be able to use their money for whatever they want to use it for.
That's where we are right now. And that's where.
But how many states have that? Like Missouri obviously has it.
See, I didn't know that until Hugh was telling us yesterday. But that's where a lot of people want to go, Brownie, to take the burden off the boosters and start tapping into some of the TV money and/or ticket sales.
Yeah, so two things in the state of Missouri. First of all, they are one of the states where high school athletes can get NIL deals and keep their amateur status.
California, I think, is another.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of them. I think it's going to be all 50 at some point. This would never withstand a lawsuit if a group of players ever sued states. It wouldn't. I mean, this would be open and closed. There's no way you can prohibit a high school player from getting an NIL deal. It's insane. So it's going to be all 50 states at some point. But Missouri is already one of those states. So that's number one for Missouri. But number two is their state legislature basically stepped in and said that we're going to rule on what our schools can do, not the NCAA.
That's right.
And what they say now is the state school coaches can sit in on the negotiation. So in other words, whereas Kalen DeBoer or Hugh Freeze, they got to kind of be hands off. Eli Drinkwitz can sit down with Luther Burden III and Ford Motor Company and basically negotiate the deal. Luther, what do you need to stay here at Missouri? Coach, I need $3 million. John Simpson Ford, go get me $3 million.
Yeah.
I mean, basically it puts it in the coach's hands.
Yeah.
And that's where he's saying that Eli Drinkwitz got an advantage.
I didn't realize that. It was, we brought up Drinkwitz and what a great job he had done. He kind of knocked his shit a little bit on the side. I'm friends with him, but Eli does have an advantage here.
Yeah, but he wants that same advantage, though. He wants that same advantage Hugh does.
Yeah, and it helps the boosters. Hugh was very upfront. You'll see it when it drops later today. He doesn't like the fundraising aspect. I don't like getting out and having
why would you?
Yeah, I don't like getting out and having to ask our great alumni to donate money so we can be competitive.
I mean, you guys know this. I mean, you've done fundraising before. We've all raised money. Raising money is a pain in the ass. And if you are expecting to win championships as a football coach that's got to balance a roster nonstop, and on top of that, you've got to go out and fundraise, boy, that's a lot.
The one other thing and this is a law that doesn't frankly get enforced very strictly, but by the letter of the law, an Alabama or Auburn student is not supposed to be able to use the Alabama and Auburn trademarked logos in their NIL deals, right? Again, the schools don't really police that to the letter of the law, but they're not supposed to be able to do that.
I think Alabama came back and changed their philosophy on that.
The Missouri state, that was one of the things they did from the get-go. They're like, you can use all the Missouri logos you want. Basically, what the Missouri legislature did was say, let's make this the most NIL-friendly state in America.
Right.
And they did it. And that's why Hugh Freeze is saying now Eli's got a little bit of an advantage over everybody else in the NIL world because his state legislator has made it the most NIL-friendly state in the union.
And how much better?
I thought they went a little too far when they changed the state motto to "Show me the money."
Yes.
How much better is that job? My point, like Eli won 11 games last year. If they won 11 games and got into college football playoff, teams would try to hire Eli. But is it a more appealing job, not only in the SEC, but because you have that benefit?
Well, but that's only until everybody else has that same benefit, which will eventually be the case. I mean, if you think these SEC states, if it doesn't change already, if they're going to sit around and let the state of Missouri have an advantage, no way. I mean, I would imagine if Kalen DeBoer and Hugh Freeze banged the drum hard enough, this would be in the Alabama legislature tomorrow, and Kay Ivey would be signing the bill 3 days from now. So, I mean, that's what will end up happening.
Yeah, that whole Hugh Freeze interview in our Coca-Cola Conversations will drop a little bit later on today. Forrester will be kicking that out, and Little T will give you some highlights on all our platforms. Follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe. Maybe you're watching us right now on YouTube. If you are and you have not subscribed, we appreciate when you do that. Give us a thumbs up and tell friends about us there. But if you're watching us on another video platform, YouTube's a great place to go start your Next Round journey. Next Round Live on YouTube. Next Round Live on YouTube. You get buttons there that'll take you to Roll Tide Pods, War Dam Pods, and all of our other shows, including The Meltdown and Uncorked and The Pennant Grace. It's all right there at Next Round Live and Disrupt the Media, another YouTube channel you can follow as well that keeps you connected with the show. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama will keep you connected with your health as you get older, men. Whether you're moving into your 30s, into your 40s, into your 50s, or on, you got some challenges that will attack your health as you get a little bit older. So stay on top of it. Early detection is so important. That's what Urology Centers of Alabama will do for you. 205-930-0920 for that appointment. Set it up. 205-930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Schedule that appointment today. Locations, 16 of them in the state with great urologists right there. When we come back, interesting basketball numbers, not involving money. I gave you those already. I've seen a new top 50 big board for the NBA draft. Whether or not Mark Sears is on it or not, I'll let you know. And also a team that is expected to be off the beaten path and in the preseason top 25 in next year's college basketball poll. A surprising name. And an update on our 40 and 40 countdown voters from Lunsford. All that's coming up in the next hour right here on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Regions Tradition May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Regions Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Starting hour number 2 here, a little late. That's on me, but as we roll into hour number 2, a little football news for you here. Alabama picked up a DB out of the portal yesterday from Wake Forest. Deshaun Jones, 6-foot guy, had 3 interceptions last year for the Demon Deacons. A 2-year starter there. He's got 2 years still to play as he comes to Tuscaloosa. A lot of 4- and 5-star guys in T-Town already in that backfield. That recruiting class was amazing that they got, but they're young. It seems to be freshmen or redshirt freshmen mostly back there. You take away Malachi Moore, and everyone else seems to be very young, except for the kid you got from Michigan and Sab, and the kid you got from USC and Jackson, Malachi Moore. So, Brown, I take this as they're wanting some depth and maturity back there.
Yeah, I think when we ask, what are your concerns about Alabama, and we get a lot of secondary depth, I think people are wanting experience depth. I said that the other day. I think that's what people mean is I don't just want depth. You got bodies back there. I want some experience depth. I would like some guys that have played a little bit and know a little bit about the college football game rather than throwing a bunch of fresh guys out there in the toughest conference in the nation.
Auburn linebacker Cam Riley, who hit the portal, going to Florida State, 6'4", 240-pounder there. Sam Heward, familiar name, Brock's nephew, a couple of days ago picked Utah. He was one of the top-ranked quarterbacks in 2021. Washington, Cal Poly, never was a full-time starter, never got a lot of playing time, got his most playing time at Cal Poly last year. Now he's going to Utah where he'll back up Cam Rising this year and then maybe be the quarterback of the future.
Yeah, look, I mean, this guy had all the accolades coming out. I remember Brock coming on the show talking about his nephew. I watched him on a Friday night. I think he's a lefty. Really good quarterback and going to a great program to play for Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah, and then the big discussion that's been going on since our buddy Terion Arnold was last on the show, after I tell you about our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City. It is storming right now in the area that we broadcast from in Birmingham in central Alabama. And I know we've had storms out in Nebraska and Oklahoma recently, some up in the Tennessee River Valley last night. It just takes one of these summer storms with those straight line winds to blow through to loosen up some shingles and cause some major damage on your rooftop. Get that roof inspected for free with Storm Restoration Roofing. 205-542-3531. The free no-cost roof inspection. Storm Restoration Roofing. Locally owned for over 20 years. This guy's not going anywhere. He and his wife run the company. He's got sons, son-in-laws, boyfriends who head up some local crews here. Free no-cost roof inspection. He'll replace a roof. He'll also handle storm damage and everything you need when it involves your roof. Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531. Terion Arnold was on the show, and Taylor was showing me yesterday one of our fastest rising clips in recent memory is Terion Arnold talking about the draft and what the Raiders told him.
Yeah, the NFL media has eaten this up, Lance.
I figured this thing was going to go viral when he said it.
Yeah, and I don't know that Terion wasn't just joking around, and I don't know that it wasn't just a figure of speech, the old coin flip, but people are taking it that the Raiders literally flipped a coin between he and Brock Bowers.
They've commented.
They have.
And they did not say they did not do it.
They said they couldn't confirm it.
Couldn't confirm it, but when you watch, and I don't know if we can play the clip of Terion, just that specific clip again, but to me, he's got it right here.
Yeah. Did the Raiders draft Brock Bowers over Terion Arnold because of a coin toss? Barstool Sports, we appreciate you guys.
The way he set it up was they literally flipped a coin. That's the way I took it. I mean, I was kind of shocked by it.
I was kind of shocked too, but I could also see where a guy calls Terion and is like, hey, I know we talked a lot to you. I just want to tell you, in the war room, we had to flip a coin between you and Brock Bowers. That's a figure of speech I could hear.
It was a coin toss between you two.
Yeah, it's a figure of speech as well. Either way, it's the same thing, right? We literally flipped a coin. Tim Melton plays poker that way, by the way. Ask him about it on the Meltdown in the chat room today. Any big decision he makes, he flips a coin, and whatever it lands on, that's the decision he makes.
Anton Chigurh poker, huh?
And occasionally, when that coin's hot, he'll even, you want me to flip the coin for you, Jim? I'm like, yeah, flip that coin.
I really do believe 99% of the time when you flip it, you're pulling for a side. You already know what you want.
That's right.
And I don't know.
They wanted Bowers.
but either way, right? Either way, whether it's a figure of speech or not, they believed Antonio Pierce really wanted Terion Arnold or Brock Bowers, and it came down to a coin flip, and nobody stepped up and saying that he's not lying.
Yeah, I did notice because Little T texted us like, by the way, the Raiders have now commented on it. And I was like, ooh, this ought to be an interesting comment. But you were the same way as me. When she sent us the article where they commented on it, I opened it, and the guy was like, I can't confirm that. And I'm like, that ain't a no.
No, and look, you should have. We're going to have the way to answer that is to say it was a figure of speech.
Well, look, Terion is a great player, and we cannot wait to see what he does for the Lions. They've got an amazing defensive back. We loved Brock. We were just expressing to Terion that it was a very difficult decision, and a coin wasn't actually flipped. That was a figure of speech.
Here's the quote. This one's from CBS Sports. Raiders general manager Champ Kelly tells reporters Wednesday he can't confirm whether an actual coin toss occurred, commenting only that Las Vegas is excited to get Brock here as part of the offense. Arnold, meanwhile, appeared to suggest that head coach Antonio Pierce had, in fact, claimed an actual coin flip took place per The Athletic.
Boy, I hope my head coach ain't drafting like this. But I would say that this isn't the last we've heard of it. I guarantee you the Raiders will come out with an official statement saying it was a figure of speech.
Yeah, and
we love Terion Arnold, the player. The guy we wanted was Brock Bowers.
I don't know who the play-by-play guy is.
For the Raiders?
For the Lions?
Oh, the Lions.
Yeah, or it could work for the Raiders.
It used to be Brent Musburger, yeah, for the Raiders.
But for the Lions, whoever it is, if it's the Lions and Raiders and Terion steps in front of Brock Bowers, you go, Arnold with the interception. Coin flip comes up heads for the Lions. Here's what Terion said on our show in a flashback with Terion.
Lions picked you for you to get that moment on the stage with those Detroit fans was incredible to watch. I can only imagine how great it was for you.
It was amazing. I mean, all my teammates from Alabama, they were like, Terion would be the one to get drafted where the draft is at.
Yeah.
I mean, how much conversation did you have with Brad Holmes and with Dan Campbell and with that organization?
I went on a visit there, and honestly, they told me, they said, you're one of those guys we have to trade up to get, but our paths may cross, and we don't think we'll be able to get you. And my agent, Nicole, she did a very great job of just she actually texted him that following morning and said, hey, it's a heavy O-line, receiver, quarterback, heavy offensive draft class, man. Y'all might have a chance. And then just from going back and talking to them, they knew that the Raiders, it was a possibility that they took me, and actually the Raiders coach, they called me after the draft. And they were like, we actually had a coin toss between you and Brock Bowers and landed on him. I was like, oh, wow. And then after the Raiders passed, they said, okay, we got to get up there before Jacksonville. So actually, Brad, he was like, they were trying to trade all the way up to 15, 16 to get me. So, it's just one of those things where you go where you're wanted. And that right there, man, that fit, and as far as how the fans are, schemes that they run, and just even being around guys like J-Mo, Jameer, especially Brian, like, man, it was a dream come true for me.
It landed on him. That's not a figure of speech.
That's what he said. They
decided to go Brock. That's
when stuff like this goes viral. I always wish we had come back and said, "Now wait a minute, Terion. He told you they actually flipped a coin." I mean, it didn't jump out to me as much. I mean, it's a nice comment, but I mean, like, Little T is constantly having to give permission to use that clip right now. People are coming left on ESPN and Fox and CBS. They're all coming to Little T like, hey, can we use this clip? So this story is going a little bit viral in the NFL.
Yeah, our buddy Orlovsky and Laura Rutledge, I think, are wanting to use it on NFL Live or
I think
whatever.
Little T just approved that. She was telling me in the break. So, I mean, it's pretty wild that this is that big of an emphasis. And I've even seen, like, didn't the Colts draft right after I think the Colts drafted right after the Raiders, because I saw somebody in the comments say, you mean to tell me the Colts were a coin flip away from getting Brock Bowers? Yeah. I may throw up.
Such an Indianapolis moment.
I was hoping the Raiders played the Lions this year.
They do not at this point. Schedule release coming out a little bit later on in this month. At least I don't think they did that.
They don't.
Hey, New York Butcher Shop brings us part of the show. The weekend is here. Tell us about New York Butcher Shop.
Well, New
York feels
York
like
Butcher
a Friday
Shop
to me, by the way. If I don't show up tomorrow, Brown, you may have to call me.
Okay, Jim. Okay.
Pretend I'm Charles Barkley.
Okay, Barkley.
Yeah.
Let me find our man Jim here. Sent me some information on Mother's Day because, really difficult to get in some of these restaurants. How about cook mom dinner from the New York Butcher Shop? Certified Angus Prime, whole tenderloins, fillets, prime rib roast, all available for mom. Let mom relax while you serve up a perfectly grilled and rested certified Angus beef, brand cut. This is all from our friends at the New York Butcher Shop. You can call ahead. You can get this ordered or just stop into one of those two locations, the original in Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Fresh meat, specialty items, a great selection of wine, desserts, one-stop dinner shop, rare quality, well-done service. Our friend Jim and the New York Butcher Shop.
Royal Payne says in the chat room, you guys showed the graphic of the percentages of hits and misses in the first round over the last 20 years. A coin flip is basically what they do.
Yeah, 50-50. What is
I
it?
mean, a 50-50 is really good, actually, when you look at it was the percentages of players that get a second contract with the team that drafted them.
Yeah, offensive linemen were the top 2 spots, and then there was one spot that was barely above 50, and the rest were below 50%.
Quarterbacks were fairly close to 50.
They ought to do the old fantasy draft, when you had some kind of prior commitment, and you're like, I'm just going to let it auto draft for me.
The best player available.
Yeah, so everybody just gets sit back, including the general managers, and they have no idea what's going on.
Who do we get?
The best draft that's interesting to me started yesterday. Do you know what it was?
There's a draft that started yesterday?
The draft started yesterday that's fascinating to me.
I have no idea.
We'll do our basketball stuff I talked about in the next segment. But yesterday, I don't know if they were in the same place, if they were on a Zoom call, but 18 teams, 3 networks, they started drafting the games for Fox, NBC, and CBS on the Big Ten schedule. That started yesterday, and I guess was continuing through the day into today.
Now, what I would like to know is...
How many picks does Fox get?
Well, how many will we get the results too?
I don't know if we'll get the results in order.
Because I was
going to
say we could do like our top 5 Big Ten games.
I don't know if Fox's contract either grants them the Ohio State-Michigan game or if they have to use their first pick on it. That's what I'd like to know. Because the conference championship game's already set. That's based on, they negotiate that in the contract. So you don't have to go say, all right, I'll take the Big Ten championship game. So your first pick off the board automatically for any of those networks is Ohio State, Michigan. Yeah. That's the highest rated regular season game every year. That's the one everybody wants.
Yeah. Or do you get two picks like Fox picks 2 and then NBC, CBS picks?
That's where if I'm Fox, I'm like, I give you the most money. I get Ohio State, Michigan no matter what.
Yeah.
That's what I would say if I'm Fox.
But we'll see. We'll get details out. Maybe Klatt will clue us in on how that goes. But it started yesterday. 3 networks. 18 teams, Big Ten network draft. You don't have to worry about it because ABC, ESPN has all the SEC.
Do you think it's like those drafts you do where somebody's texting NBC, it's your pick? It's your pick. So somebody tell NBC it's their pick. Lance will be in those, like when he's drafting those teams.
We've got 2 guys that are so slow. Like they'll take hours.
Yeah.
Your mic's muted.
and then they walk up, bum, 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 with a second overall pick. NBC selects.
But with that,
I'm Jerry Seinfeld to announce.
So, in these war rooms, you've got general manager, you've got owner a lot of times, you've got VP of player personnel, you've got the head coach, you've got the coordinators. How many network executives are involved? And wouldn't you want a football guy?
I'd lean on Klatt heavy.
That's what I was going to say. I would bring in my top analyst.
No doubt.
This is y'all's baby.
And because that game, A, is going to only be a good TV product as the game is, and B, only a good TV product if Gus and Klatt are invested, right? And if they want to be there, I'm like, Joel, you give me the 10 you want to be at. Now, Ohio State, Michigan's going to be number 1, and I would bet you if you let Klatt do the list, I don't know. Oregon, Ohio State's a Big Ten game.
Yeah,
I was gonna say. I wonder how quick he'd get to Bama, Wisconsin, because that's their game.
I just know this. I just know this, Brown. This tells me that they will not have 6-day holds like we did with the CBS deal for years with the SEC. It sounds like to me they're laying out the entire season. So the big noon kickoff, by the time we get to those games, may not be the best game of the, depending on how
you thought it was going to be a good game.
You thought it was going to be a big game, but it's going to end up being the best game of the weekend, maybe on NBC or CBS.
Well, that was the whole deal with this ESPN deal is kick times way in advance for the SEC. You're not going to have to wait till week of to find out your kick time yet.
So is Caleb Williams, is it Oregon, Ohio State, or is it Michigan, Ohio State?
It'd be Michigan, Ohio State. That's always your highest rated game.
Here's the only problem with that. Oregon, Ohio State, both are going to be undefeated. Both are going to be in the top 5. You know what you're getting there. Michigan could be 3 or 4 losses.
But that game's also in Eugene. Would you do a big noon kickoff in Eugene? That is 9 a.m. Pacific.
I would not, but I would do my Fox Friday night broadcast with that and blow everybody out of the water with it.
Oh, that'd be a huge number on a Friday night.
We'll see what they do with all that. I can't wait till all that comes out from the Big Ten. Basketball conversation that I promised this hour coming up. Rockstars 4 Downs as well in the next segment as we continue on the show that's being brought to you by our Medical Minute today. Johnson RV Center bringing you the Medical Minute. LT gives us one every day as it's Mental Health Month.
Yes, according to the American Psychological Association, the years 2020 to 2023 are the most stressful on record due to the economic, political concerns, COVID pandemic-related stress. Men and women are reporting very high levels of stress. That is not good because high levels of stress are associated with increased medical costs, worse medical outcomes, and greater mental health issues. Look, a lot of people are suffering from anxiety, suffering from depression, even substance abuse. You're not alone. If you're a man or woman, a lot of guys just don't like to talk about this. They think it's taboo. Very important that you start the conversation. You are not alone on this. Our Men's Mental Health Medical Minute is brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator, and they are always online. JohnstonRVCenter.com, JohnstonRVCenter.com. They've got that nationwide price match guarantee. Bring them a price on any comparable RV. They will absolutely beat it right there because they've repriced both their lots and they know they're giving you the best price possible. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator, always online. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Visit nextroundlive.com today. It's free, unless you haven't paid your internet bill. So go ahead and pay that, and then it's free. Heck, you can pull out your phone and go to nextroundlive.com right now, where you'll find all the free content that you can stomach, unless you haven't paid your phone bill. Then you need to pay that, and then you can enjoy all the free content. Nextroundlive.com is so rewarding that it should be behind a paywall, like Lance's Lock. So in summary, play Lance's Lock. Then you'll have enough money to pay your bills, and go to nextroundlive.com, where you're always at your happiest, for free.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Region's Tradition, May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Region's Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Back with you on the next round. Rockstar, will you give me cut number 2? We had a chance to spend some quality time on and off camera with Nick Saban yesterday. And other than LT, go see the interview when LT outs me as a Brock Bowers denier.
It's fantastic, his answer to you, too.
Yeah, in front of Nick Saban. Brandon, will you jump up and close that refrigerator for us?
Oh, I left the Coke machine open?
Yeah, if you can do that.
Scott, I am so sorry. Scott had to embarrass me by cutting to the video.
Yeah. The air conditioning is working up here fine. We don't need the extra AC there. Yeah. But in our Coca-Cola conversation yesterday, you can go see the whole thing. That's the one that's out first, the Nick Saban conversation out last night on our YouTube channel. This is, it looks like all three of us are talking at the same time to Nick Saban. I'm doing a little humorous point to him right here. I don't know what's going on. I think this is when LT is out of me that I don't think Brock Bowers is going to be a success. Nick Saban thought he was the most NFL-ready guy in the draft.
It's a big contradiction between those two.
Yeah, so he takes me to class there. But I asked him about his retirement. I was like, dude, you seem like you're having a good time. I did not think it would be that way. Here's Nick Saban yesterday.
Listen, I'm a worrier by nature. When you announced your retirement, I was like, I can't picture him enjoying this. But I've said this on our show 3 or 4 times. I've seen you at events and golf at the draft and, speaking engagements, whatever. You look like this is everything you ever wanted it to be if you ever stopped. Has it been what you wanted? Has it been fun?
Yeah, it has. I spent my whole life so busy, I didn't have any opportunity to enjoy anything else. So this gives me an opportunity to do some things I've never been able to do before, whether it's in business, whether it's, ESPN work, whether it's speaking, trying to influence people in a positive way. Spending a little more time with Miss Terry and the family. So, and just having some, not feeling like you're in a hurry all the time, which is kind of refreshing.
Yeah, Nick Saban yesterday, good for him. He's getting that opportunity to enjoy this part of his life. But he looked younger on the course yesterday. His golf game is better. And once the season starts, that's what every coach tells us. Tommy Tuberville told us that. Once the season starts, that's the real test. Will he still not be missing it then?
Well, Tommy was completely removed from it. At least Nick is going to be on the set. He's going to have some atmosphere. He is going to be looking at film. He's going to be talking football.
Tell us about our friends at Bandwagon.
Yeah, you can jump on the bandwagon. All-Star season is here, and whether you've got the uniform concept ready to go or you need some help with it, Bandwagon is the team you need to use. They've got a vision for your team uniforms, and they can help your team hit the field in style. Their friendly staff walks alongside you throughout the design, creation, sizing, and more. And it's not just uniforms. They could create any custom apparel, whether your business is looking for their newest polo or your all-star moms want matching tank tops. Check out their site, bandwagonsports.com. That is bandwagonsports.com. Next round, it is time to jump on the bandwagon.
Mark Sears not in the Athletics top 50, a big board for the NBA draft.
Okay.
So if you're an Alabama fan, there are a lot of them out there, but that's a good sign that he's not in the top 50, right?
I'm surprised he's not in the top 50 now. Again, I never thought he would get drafted in the first round, but I thought he'd sneak in the back into the second round. But, 50 to 60 possibly.
50 to 60 possibly. Would you be surprised if I told you Ron Holland is the number 1 overall pick, according to The Athletic? He played with the Ignite in the G League.
That would surprise me a little bit, yes.
Yeah. Number 2 is Reed Shepherd. 13 is where you find Dalton Connect. Here is the more eye-opening thing. Who was one of the more dominant players that helped his team lose in the national championship game?
Zach Edey.
Zach Edey, 31 on the big board.
I mean, eye-opening in that, he's got something only God can coach, and that's he's a massive human being, but his game does not translate well to the NBA. We talked about it in season.
It does not.
Guy doesn't shoot.
I think Edey could have come back for a year, too.
I think he had one more year if he wanted to come back.
He can't make NIL, which is probably one of the things that's driving him there because he's a Canadian citizen.
Do believe they think he's going to be in the back end of the lottery. I think he will go in the top 14 picks.
Yeah, that's just The Athletic. There's a lot of opinions out there, and May 29th is when everyone who's still in the NBA draft has a chance to pull back out and can stay in their college lane. That includes Mark Sears and Stevenson, both for Alabama. They're both still in the draft right now, right?
Yeah, as of right now.
Though Alabama expects both of them back. One Auburn JUCO conversation yesterday. Not a commitment yet for Auburn, but it's looking good. This guy can score the basketball. Joe Tipton, who knows everything basketball, Tipton Edits, a great follow on Twitter. Dior Johnson just completed a Zoom meeting with Auburn's full coaching staff today. The sources tell On3 Sports. The 6'3" guard led JUCO in scoring this season. 29 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds a game. One time considered the number 1 point guard in the 2022 class, former 5-star recruit. It's right now. It looks like it's Auburn. If he chooses to pull the trigger right now, Auburn could be his destination in basketball. Be a big pickup for Bruce and the guys.
Be another huge get.
Average 30 points a game.
How is that any good?
Yeah. A little. Shoot it.
Yeah, just keep shooting.
Yeah. Slice brings us 4 downs every day. Rockstar has that for us. Tell us about Slice.
Just a great place to go this weekend. Look, if you've been working all week, you want to take the family out, Slice, a fantastic place to grab that meal The original location in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. The newest location in Edgewood. You're going to absolutely love it. Stop in, see the Bajaya Brothers. Local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
12 people have walked on the moon, allegedly. What is something that even less people has achieved?
7 national championships, Nate Saban?
That's a good one.
No, what about, because today is 700, show number 700. Okay. There are only 4 members of the 700 home run club in Major League Baseball. And you think about all of the individuals
great one, Lance.
that have played in Major League Baseball.
So you've got Aaron, Bonds, Ruth,
and Pujols.
Pujols, that's right. I was trying to remember the fourth one. How easy I forget Albert Pujols. My bad, Albert.
I didn't do the fact check on this, but I was going to guess 2-term presidents. Is that more than 12, you think?
I think it's probably less.
There's been 46.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just in our lifetime, Obama, Clinton, Reagan,
Bush. One Bush.
Yeah, George W. Bush. I mean, that's 4 just in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So
Remember Cleveland had he didn't have consecutive. Yeah. Herbert Hoover had not Herbert Hoover. Roosevelt had 4.
Yeah,
yeah.
But he would only count as one president. Yeah.
That's close.
It's close. I would say more than 12, but I can't swear to that.
Yeah. So 46 presidents. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is, if I'm not mistaken, and I saw the documentary, there's only the one guy that tight-roped between the 2 World Trade Centers, right?
No, there were multiple people that did it.
Oh, I thought only one guy accomplished it.
I don't know. Have you seen that movie, that documentary?
Yeah. I thought he was the only one that accomplished it. I thought the rest of them.
I thought it was one family.
The Walindas?
Yeah.
But even if there were several, it's less than 12. So that was the only thing I could think of that really I knew so few. And I just remember that documentary. What's the name of that?
Man on a Wire.
Man on a Wire.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt did a film. I think it bombed.
Yeah. The film was not good. The documentary is, though.
Second down.
What is the funniest exchange between a student and a teacher that you remember in school?
I thought about this. I couldn't remember our home ec teacher, but I remember a kid named Sean O'Brien. We were in 6th grade, Homewood Middle School, and he told a joke. She was like, "You think you're funny, don't you? Well, why don't you tell the class a joke?"
Oh, no.
So he told the class a joke. Would you guys like to hear the joke?
Please.
Did everybody laugh?
Oh, yeah, and he got suspended.
Okay.
Like, literally suspended.
She told me to tell a joke.
That's right.
Why did the Boy Scout get kicked out of his troop?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah, I know the punchline,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's he told it in 6th grade, and we all...
This was one of those things you don't understand. You just hear your dad or your dad's friends tell that joke, and, well, I heard...
Yeah, my dad told it.
I just couldn't believe he did it.
Yeah.
So I had a guy, what reminded me, made me think of this question. I think of this probably once a month. In 6th grade, it was a 6th or 7th grade, a kid in math class went to the teacher and said he had to go to the bathroom. And she started looking for her. We had a little green block that said hall pass. And she was looking through her drawer. She could not find it. So she was like, "I'm sorry, here, just take this." And she gave him a ruler. And he goes, "The hell is this shit?" He didn't say hell, though. He didn't say hell.
Drop the F-bomb on her?
And it just looked at it. She just looked at him and just like, "Okay, come with me to the principal's office." He's like, "Gotta go to the bathroom first." I mean, just gave him a ruler. I love it. Sorry.
This actually happened to me. I was in 9th grade Alabama history, and one of the football coaches taught the class. And we had a little competition near the end of the year where he would give every student something we had discussed in Alabama history, and you had to do a presentation on it. And the top 3 got bonus points on their final grade. So this could be the difference in pass, fail, A, B, C, whatever. So it was important to me. I always need a bonus point. So I actually tried. And the class got to vote on the winners, and then he had a vote as well. His vote was more weighted, right? So the classes keep a score while you're doing the presentation. Mine was on the Creek Indians, your people, Jim. Mine was on the Creek Indians.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Mine was on the Creek Indians. And I was talking about how the Creek Indians, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think I said this as if it was true, how they got their name because they would build their colonies, their establishments along bodies of water, on the rivers or the creeks. So I said you could frequently find them, and I was supposed to say pitching their tents along the bodies of water in the state of Alabama. Instead, I said you could always find them pinching their tits along a body of water. And
it's true. That's true, too.
And I'll never forget.
Shout out Lake Martin.
The coach was back there he was just writing something, and his head just popped up like that, and the class didn't know if they should laugh or not. So very awkwardly, I tried to clean up my mess, and I said it again. So back-to-back times.
He's gay. He's blind.
Exactly. So here's the interaction. We get to the end, and the 3 finalists had to present again, and the class got to vote on the ultimate winner, right? So at the end of class, he's like, okay, so-and-so, you will present again Wednesday. So-and-so, you'll present again Thursday. So-and-so, you'll present again Friday. And he just, without missing a beat, said, and Dr. Brown, he used to call you doctor or professor. He said, Dr. Brown, you'll present tonight on Cinemax. Yeah. And that was the end.
How did you ever win Mr. Echo with comments?
That was 9th grade. I had to outlive it.
Dirty mind.
Yeah.
I don't have one rock star.
All right.
Yeah, none at all.
They're asking me to finish the joke.
I'd say no.
Really?
Hey, there's a lot of space now between the setup and the punchline. So now it's like a different conversation. What do you like to eat?
Brownies.
I like brownies.
I like brownies rough around the edges, though, right?
Do you like the crispy edges?
I do like the crispy edges.
Yeah, see, I like the soft center. Yeah.
Yep.
Third down.
I eat the edges. I hate the soft centers.
I'm keeping want Lunsford on this one because I think he'd answer this a lot different than you guys. For a job for at least 30 hours a week for 3 months, you have to play a video game. What are you playing?
Easy for me. It's going to be the new college football.
30 hours a
2025
week for 3 months.
I could do it.
Yeah,
I can do it.
You know,
like it's my job.
Old school. Like I might say, because it's so long and you've got to do it. It might be one of these novel kind of games, epic adventures. Like I've never played like the new stuff, but The Last of Us, watching that on HBO, I thought it was fantastic. So maybe go into something like that. I watched the first episode of Fallout, maybe something like that. But if it was old school, it would be Miss Pac-Man. Used to have one of those and lost it in the divorce, or Missile Command.
But just imagine 6 hours into the first day of Miss Pac-Man going, oh my God, I'm about to go crazy.
Yeah, but if you were one of those adventures where you take a character and you go for this long adventure. I mean, The Last of Us lasted me like 3 months watching it.
Can I just make a ruling here? Lost in the divorce. Wasn't it a gift? It was a gift, right?
Yeah, it was a gift, but it was on my property.
I don't want to be a ruler, like throw a flag or something.
Yeah, but you split assets. I mean, it was a gift for her and the kids.
Okay.
So the kids still are my place.
Okay,
but,
I see. I just thought it's like if I gave Maggie a vacuum cleaner for Mother's Day coming up this weekend or something.
Yeah, do that, please.
That's something
I kept the treadmill and the Roomba.
So I'd like to hear Lunsford's answer, so go ahead.
Well, you have to.
Okay.
The question is.
There can be categories.
Well, the question is, like, can you play with other people? Or is like your job is sitting there playing alone?
Wait, is this the punchline to the joke?
Are you pitching tits?
I mean, because like the answer for me would be World of Warcraft, because you have to level through. It takes a long time to level up, and then once you level up, you got to do a ton of work. There's weekly stuff that you can come back and do. There's daily stuff every day that like refreshes every day. So like it would constantly stay fresh the entire time. I know you'll have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, I do. It's how I start my day every day here at 6:45 or 7 o'clock. Whenever I roll in, the first thing I say to myself, let's level up today. Let's level up.
And
today.
the reason I'm not here is because I'm at home playing World of Warcraft, leveling up in that. So that's an easy answer for that.
Fourth down.
Would you rather be known as the guy with the filthy bedroom/bathroom or the filthy car?
Both are horrible.
Yeah, easy answer here.
But I would go car.
Filthy car is the easiest one.
I cannot
More
ride in a
people
filthy
see your car than your bedroom.
I don't care.
I gave Brown a compliment the other day on his clean car.
You've given me that compliment multiple times, and it means a lot to me. I want you to know I don't take it lightly.
Okay, good.
In fact, one time you used me as an example for someone else on what a car should look like.
Well, okay, so the filthy car, though, I mean, you're in your bathroom or your bedroom more.
You are. I cannot handle either one of these.
I'm thinking with the car, you're more embarrassed. Like that, what is in there? Like you're a hoarder of just like fast food bags and fries everywhere and just trash and just like stacked up. Or your bedroom is just dirty clothes everywhere, used towels all over the floor.
It'll take a few seconds. So let me say this now, then you can tell your story, because little T in the command center, I drove to some basketball games this year, and I had to apologize a couple of times when she got in the car. I had not had it detailed in a while, and I said, hey, I'm so sorry that the car is not 100%.
So would you have a guess on who would have the dirtiest car up here?
I don't want to do that.
Of the three of us?
People. The three of us, it's Dunaway.
My back seat is atrocious because of a kid. They did nasty.
Yeah. You can't. Once you got a car seat in, it's hard to keep it good. I would. The damage the dogs do in your car, though? No? Okay. No scratches?
I know it's 100% not me because this car wash that they built close to us, I am there minimum 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Wash.
My God.
Yeah. I'm like once every 2 weeks.
Like you're cleaning off more soap.
No. I mean, it's going to stay clean. I cannot exist in a dirty car. Absolutely hate it. I can't even. I'll at a stoplight, and I know I am realizing at age 48 that I am far more OCD than I ever imagined.
You stoplight, you're like banana peel seat or banana peel out the window?
No, that's why it goes out the window. It ain't gonna stay in the car.
You're actually getting more as you get older.
I may be. I don't know, but I'll be at a stoplight and I'll notice like some dust on the screen right there, and I'll pull I got a wipe in the console, and I'll pull it out at a stoplight and I'll clean that, get that dust off. Yeah. Can't stand it.
You're like Cameron Fry's dad.
It's pretty bad.
He wipes it with the diaper.
I know, it's pretty bad. But there again, a dirty bathroom and bedroom, I keep my car spick and span. Jennifer keeps our bedroom and bathroom spick and span. So
yeah, I can't
deal with either one of them.
But Lil T. The Liberty.
I haven't
even seen her
new car. She's got a 4Runner.
Yeah, but the old car, and it wasn't too banged up.
No. She did a lot of work and drove a lot of places in that car. So,
but I've never seen Tyler Melton or Lunsford's. I've ridden in Kelsey's before. Hers is clean.
Yep.
Reed's is clean.
Yep.
EG's is clean. Y'all's are clean.
Yep.
Rocky's is clean.
My front seat's good. Back seat, disaster.
Cheerios, and
goldfish.
I still understand
cars.
leaving stuff in there, like take it inside. I just can't leave anything in the car.
I'm just one of those, if you open something, put it up. Close it, put it up. I mean, it's just.
Well, my wife is one that has both cup holders have a old coffee cup with old coffee in it.
Nope.
Then on the side of the door, there's like a Chick-fil-A cup from 6 weeks ago.
Rockstar, I couldn't get in that car.
Yeah, I mean,
I
love
your
know how
wife.
you do that.
Yeah, like I'm driving to the coast today after the show, and for any snacks that are in the car, there will be a plastic bag to put your trash in.
Yep.
And so first stop, whether it's to fuel up or go to the bathroom, that bag will get tied up. It will get dropped.
You know that car wash I use? You know the thing I love most about it? Is it got the air gun. So like you can go in and you can spray that air gun to get the dust all off your dash.
Spray it on your teeth and see if it hurts.
Probably so.
Best thing about the one I use is that somebody does that for me.
I don't trust him. I
or spray it. Didn't we have somebody trash on tape sprayed in some guy's ass?
It was a joke.
It ended up killing him.
Yeah.
That is 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice. Tell us about Slice.
5 locations. Remember this weekend, great place to go. They've got a fantastic selection of beers created by the late Jeff Pajaya. His brothers Jason and Chris continue to celebrate his legacy. Stop in, see the guys at Slice. 5 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
And the golf tournament is in, I assume, I have not checked, that we delayed the start of round 1 today because of weather out at the Regions Tradition. But I think the weather's supposed to be fantastic the rest of the weekend. RegionsTradition.com. RegionsTradition.com. You can get out there and enjoy the rest of the tournament, whether it's later today if the sun clears or we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday action of this major right there on the PGA Tour. It's always a good one out there at the Regions Tradition. RegionsTradition.com for tickets. Go enjoy the trip to Greystone again this year, all of the great tents and drinking areas out there. And you can get your tickets at RegionsTradition.com. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent Trane dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a Trane. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Region's Tradition, May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Region's Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
My buddy Kevin says that Pittsburgh are calling up Paul Skeens for the Livy Dunn effect on social media to help the Pirates. I don't think you're gonna get a Taylor Swift boost, but
it won't hurt.
I mean, Kate Upton got some cutaways when her and Verlander started dating. So Olivia, when she's at the game, will get some airtime, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, she'll go to the games, and I don't help, but I mean, they're calling the guy up because he's ripping through the minors. What did you say? He's
got a sub-1 ERA, 45 strikeouts and 27 in the third. He's been dominant.
0.99, yeah, pretty amazing. And he's on MLB Network right now.
Yeah, it's a big story on the MLB Network, as you said, most anticipated perhaps in Strasburg.
Well, a big anticipated game for the Stallions coming up this weekend against the St. Louis, A.J. McCarron-led St. Louis Motorboats, Riverboats,
Showboats. I don't know. Battlehawks
Memphis coming to town.
Yeah.
Carlos Davis joins the show in just under an hour in the final segment of the show. Today. We'll jump back into a little football here in just a second. But I did want LT to tell us about our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Pre-inflation pricing. Everything going up in price, but not for LASIK at Michelson Laser Vision. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Call this number, 205-969-8100. Ask for the pre-inflation pricing. Also, ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-969-8100. I'm speaking from experience. Got the procedure done over 2 decades ago. I've still got 2015 vision, better than 2020. Maybe you got that tax refund from Uncle Sam. Spend it on something important, something that will last you a lifetime. That is the gift of vision from our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Both of the local teams in the SEC softball tournament got eliminated yesterday in crazy fashion. Alabama played the first game. They lost 3-2 to LSU in 14 innings, the longest SEC tournament game ever. And then to start the evening session, Auburn and Georgia played 14 innings,
Holy
and
crap.
Auburn got walked off. What was crazy about the Auburn one, Forrester and I, big softball fans, were talking pre-show today. I was like, did you see the Auburn-Georgia game? And he's like, yeah. Auburn, I think it was McCrary hit a 3-run homer in the top of the 14th to take a 3-run lead. They go to the bottom of the 14th. Georgia hits a 3-run homer to tie it up. And then the next girl, I think Nelson or somebody, walks it off with a home run for 4 runs in their half of the 14th. And what was an amazing softball game yesterday. They'll continue the single elimination tournament today without Alabama or Auburn. Selection show is coming up Sunday at 6 o'clock for the SEC and the NCAA tournament that is coming up. All right, back to football now. Our buddy Brad Crawford, who writes for who, Brandy? 24/7?
Yep, 24/7 Sports. Brad, been on the show before, does a lot of college football for them.
He has got LT out today, the 15 toughest schedules in college football.
We know number one.
Coming up this season. Number one is
Florida.
Florida for
100% Florida.
Okay.
And you're going to get a heavy SEC flavor in this. I'll just go ahead and tell you. But the Florida schedule, I know we talked about it the other day. Scott has all these schedules, so we can hit a few of them here. We won't go every single schedule, but we've talked about that Florida, and especially the way this schedule ends. When you look at the end of the Florida schedule, if you're coaching for your job after the Halloween bye date, Lance, I don't want to be coaching for my job there.
No, and to be a power like Florida, a team that has won multiple national championships, and to look at a 12-game schedule, and there's a possibility you're only favored twice the entire year.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
It is an absolutely brutal schedule. Number one on his list with a bullet.
Try to guess number two. Is Brandy is in an SEC?
It is a Southeastern Conference school. A lot of these are.
Oh, number two is going to be Oklahoma.
That's a good guess. I'll go Oklahoma as well.
Oklahoma gets mentioned. It is actually Arkansas.
Was going to be my other guess.
Oh, was it really?
Yep.
Have you looked that much at Arkansas?
I have. First of all, they're Arkansas.
No, okay, that's number one. They're Arkansas.
There's several teams ahead of them, and I think they play all of them.
I'll tell you what, they have to open 3-0.
So they open with Arkansas, Pine Bluff, at Oak State. That's a tough game, and then UAB.
Yeah, UAB, by the way, returning 4 of their starting 5 offensive linemen on an offensive line that got better as the year went on, returning their quarterback. Sneaky good for UAB this year. Back in the bowl picture, back into the conference race picture.
So their next 4 after that, what Lance says has to be a 3-0 start, is at Auburn, neutral site A&M, Tennessee, bye week LSU. They at least get a lot of those at home or neutral site.
I think they win 7 games this year.
Do you now? But they finish at State, Ole Miss, bye week, Texas, La Tech, at Missouri.
Yeah. I personally think Oklahoma's is more difficult.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Oklahoma. They are in here, but they were not number 2. It was Arkansas. Now, the only other thing I'll say is that these two have in common is that both of those coaches could potentially be coaching for their job. I mean, Sam Pittman had to get the old vote of confidence at the end of last year. South Carolina is number 3. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination you would say that Shane Beamer is coaching for his job, would you?
Not yet.
I mean, but there is a scenario. I mean, would you say there's a scenario where Beamer could lose his job?
Yeah. I mean, if he was to go 3-9, possibly.
And I would say any of these schedules we're discussing right now from Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, 3-9 is a distinct possibility. Dunaway, try that one on for size. How you feel about that one?
I got at least 4 wins on there. Old Dominion, I think they take them in the opener. I think they take Akron. I think they take Vanderbilt. And I think they take Wofford.
Yeah, they have got road games at Kentucky, road games at Alabama, at Oklahoma, and at Clemson. That's a tough schedule. Now, some of this is obviously factored by the fact that you're talking about teams that might not necessarily be playing for the top of the conference. John Away, you wanted Oklahoma. Brad's got them at number 4.
Yeah, this Oklahoma schedule is you keep Texas on there. Now you bring on Auburn and Alabama.
Well, you don't have an easy SEC game.
Yeah, that's right. And as the Oklahoma schedule pops up here, you start with Temple. That's a win. Houston is a win, but not a gimme, right? Tulane's a win, but not a gimme. So just those 2 games, Houston and
Tulane.
Tulane.
Those are tough out-of-conference games. Now you're at home for your first SEC game to Tennessee, and it depends on what you got in Nico, right? Right.
And that could be a tricky home game. Now you're at Jordan-Hare Stadium for your first ever SEC game. I bet you $1 that it is a night game at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Better chance of opening 2-0 or 0-2? Let's go 3-0 or 0-3.
Better chance at 3-0. They won't lose all of those.
I would think a better chance at 0-3.
Just real quick, if you'll remember on the night game at Jordan-Hare Stadium discussion, we talked about Georgia Alabama's already in that time slot. So
it's already in prime time.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's already in prime time, so that might affect that.
That's what I'm getting used to is where they're putting the biggest game of the day. So that's the second biggest game. So that may be out of game day for that one. So that's a good point, Brownie. Then you got the Texas-Oklahoma game. Home game with South Carolina, they should win. At Ole Miss, I'd feel better about Oklahoma if it was Ole Miss at Oklahoma. Maine, the Black Bears, tricky game. Then you're at Missouri. I mean, that Ole Miss and Missouri could be winnable games if they were in Norman. Now you're on the road in Oxford and Columbia. Then you got Alabama at home, and then you end at LSU. I mean, it just doesn't fall good for them on the home and away. Some of those away games are wins if they're in Norman, likely losses on the road.
Again, I don't know what you're going to get out of Venables. You know,
And
year
Jackson
one
Arnold
wasn't good. Yeah, year two was really good. Jackson Arnold might be the next great college quarterback, but if he's not, I think it's going to be really difficult for Venables in year one of the SEC. And I thought it was interesting, Matt Hayes, who joined us yesterday, we asked him the question, who gets to a college football playoff first, Venables, Napier, or Freeze, and he went easy Venables.
He did. Now, I will say this. You remember Dusty Voracek was on with us last week, the former Oklahoma great, and said one of the difficult parts is they only get the 3 home games because Texas is a neutral site, so you get 3 SEC home games. That's it. And Florida and Georgia have faced the same thing. I'll blow through some of these. Vanderbilt's 5, Georgia Tech 6. Don't really care about either one of those. State is 7. Mississippi State is 7th.
Yeah, probably on paper the second worst team in the SEC. So that also, that makes Vanderbilt's schedule more difficult.
Yeah.
It makes Mississippi State's schedule and the rebuild more difficult.
At a conference, though, is not crazy.
Yeah, I think they opened 3-0.
Yeah,
but 2 losable games in Arizona State and Toledo.
Eastern Kentucky at Arizona State, Toledo, and later on they play UMass at a conference. So it's not a backbreaking at a conference.
Toledo may have a better chance of beating them in Starkville than Arizona State and Tempe with the rebuild going on out there. At Texas, at Georgia, back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Ouch.
You mentioned Georgia. And this is what is interesting because what has been the storyline with Georgia for several years now?
42-2. 42-2. Those only 2 losses is since the start of the 2021 season in the SEC championship game.
According to our buddy Brad Crawford, 24/7 Sports, 8th most difficult schedule in the nation, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Wow.
At a conference, they play by the way, UMass got a tough schedule. As I'm looking at.
They're cashing some checks.
Yeah, they play UMass, but they also get Georgia Tech, Clemson, and Tennessee Tech at a conference. Clemson is neutral site. Georgia Tech is at home. But it's that conference schedule that really ramps up for them. Road trips to Kentucky, Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. All contenders, Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. And at home, you get Auburn, neutral site, Florida, Tennessee, and Mississippi State out of the Southeastern Conference.
Much more difficult than Kirby's schedule than Kirby's used to, but they're going to be favored in every game.
Yeah,
they'll be favored, yeah.
Including the one in Tuscaloosa, you believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Currently, they are the favorites in Tuscaloosa right now, as we saw the odds from DraftKings earlier. Not a back-breaking schedule, though. When you've got Tennessee Tech on there, and then you end with UMass and Georgia Tech. I mean, it's a soft landing after that Tennessee home game.
9th most difficult schedule in the country. Alabama, the Crimson Tide.
Much more tougher than Georgia, in my opinion.
Well, they do play Georgia. They obviously open with Western Kentucky, South Florida. Should be wins there. That road trip to Wisconsin gets more interesting. After the bye, they get Georgia at home. Later on, at Tennessee, October 19th. Followed by Missouri. Interesting spot for Missouri in the schedule. If they're as good as everybody thinks they're going to be. After a road trip to Tennessee prior to a bye week, that's your classic letdown trap game type deal. After the bye, you've still got road trips to LSU and Oklahoma, and then Auburn at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yeah, I would venture to suggest that USF tougher opponent for Alabama than Georgia Tech is for Georgia. This just not historically, just this season's teams. That the Bulls of USF better football team than Georgia Tech, is that a possibility?
Yes,
it's a possibility. Yeah.
Actually, I feel pretty good about that.
Let me quickly do a couple of national ones. As I said, this is heavy SEC. Alabama is 9th. Clemson is 10th. I'll kind of skip past Clemson. Scott, let's go to USC. They've got USC 12th, and then we'll look at Michigan, who 24/7 has 13th. USC, the Trojans, their first trip around the Big Ten, which is what makes this schedule particularly interesting to me.
And starting with LSU.
And you start with LSU in Las Vegas, absolutely. Michigan week 3 on the road. You still got Penn State coming to the Coliseum. You still got to play Washington. I don't know how much they're going to fall off. Nebraska coming
Washington
to the Coliseum.
on the road, by the way.
Yeah, and Notre Dame coming to the Coliseum. I mean, there are a lot of people think Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame be really good. A little more interesting USC schedule to me. About the only thing I miss, Lance, is that game against Utah.
Yeah.
That's about it from the Pac-12.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun schedule. Very few, I mean, The worst game they play is Utah State, really. I mean, when you look at it, everything else is conference. I mean, if the worst game on your schedule is a Utah State game, that's not a bad schedule. What do you think there, Dunn? You're nodding your head.
I was just thinking about Rutgers. Shiano's got them playing better.
They might be worse than Utah State. I don't know.
Is that Northwestern or Nebraska? Because it's not color. I can't tell if that's Northwestern or Nebraska.
I said Nebraska. That might be Northwestern. You're absolutely right. We need more color from our friends at USC.
I think it's Nebraska.
You think it's Nebraska?
Yeah.
And then
that changes. Utah State, Northwestern this year could be like teams. Nebraska's much better.
And then finally, number 14, according to 24/7 Sports, most difficult schedule, your defending national champions of Michigan, who are going to play this schedule without a lot of guys that are now off to the NFL and without a coach that is now off to the NFL. And it gets real for them quick when Texas comes to Ann Arbor. And I think that is that'll be a telling game, I think, for this Michigan football season.
It will. And so, too, I mean, that fourth game against USC, like you were talking about, that'll be a big game. And then, you got Washington not too far away down on October 5th. That's a game that both teams lost so much. If you're Michigan, you think I should win that game. So those 3 games in the first 6.
Texas, USC, and at Washington?
Yeah.
Not an and you still got to play Oregon, and you still got to go to Ohio State for the remainder of your schedule there.
Yeah, at least 3 losses.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a bit of a more difficult road for Michigan this year. There were very few teams, Lance, that challenged them at all last year.
I think even if Harbaugh was coaching, you'd still have multiple losses.
Yeah. I agree.
You just hope, like Alabama all those years, that they just reload instead of rebuild, and you end up winning some of those games instead of losing them. All right, so that's Brad Crawford's top 15 toughest schedules. You can see his stuff, 24/7 Sports.
That is correct, right? 24/7 Sports.
With our friend Brad Crawford there. Show being brought to you by our friends at Odie's. What was the question last night, LT?
Which came first, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Mountain Dew?
Oh, man. I think Mountain Dew has fooled me once before because their oldest logo has a hillbilly on it.
Yeah, that old hillbilly sitting there.
And Arnold is pretty old. But I'm going to stick with the old logo, the old hillbilly. I'm going to go Mountain Dew.
I'm going to buy into it, too, and go Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew 1940, Arnold Schwarzenegger 1947. These are little factoids you learn at Odie's. You get to hear Rockstar play live music there. That's every Wednesday night, Odie's Team Trivia. But outside of that, 2 great locations for you. Incredible food from Rodney Davis, live music on Friday and Saturday nights, ice-cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. The original location in Crestline, we were at that one last night. The newest location in Edgewood, right there in Homewood. Stop in, see Will Aber and that great staff, Odie's Tavern.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
A little bit more from some of our Coca-Cola conversations coming up in this segment. LT will have trash in a little bit, and then we'll talk Birmingham Stallions football with Carlos Davis. Big defensive tackle for that Stallions defense. Big one, 3 o'clock Saturday at Protective Stadium. You can be there for that one. TheUFL.com for tickets. TheUFL.com for tickets. 3 o'clock Saturday, the battle of the two best teams in the UFL. And we'll talk to Carlos about that coming up at 11:45 Central in about 35 minutes here on the show. Second mention of the day about Vern Funquist, but he sent me this stat when we were talking schedules. According to him, and I haven't fact-checked it yet, but home and away in the SEC can be so valuable for some teams.
Right.
Tennessee, 2-17 on their last 19 trips to Gainesville.
Yeah, that has been a house of horrors for them, yeah.
They've had some good teams in that time. They had some bad teams, but in Florida has not been consistently great Spurrier, but 2-17 in their last 19 trips to Gainesville.
And big number this year already, Tennessee, Florida.
Yeah, what was that? It was like 14 or something like that?
I don't know if it was that big.
Were Tennessee's giving or getting?
No, they were giving.
No, they're giving.
Yeah. That's an indication of this Florida team. I'll see if I can find it real quick. I had it up.
Yeah, because that game's in Knoxville this year, right?
Yeah, because it was down again. You remember last year, it was
right.
just basically one bad quarter killed Tennessee last year in that game. I believe, as memory serves, Dunaway, it was the third quarter. Tennessee had played well and just had a third quarter meltdown, and it killed them. Other than that, they should have won that game.
We were talking basketball a little bit earlier for one segment before we get back to football. There's a documentary coming out, a really quickly, well-done documentary. We were talking NIL money earlier. I don't know when it hits. Calipari and the Chicken Man is a documentary coming out about as it's being labeled, one of the most unexpected moves in college basketball.
So is the Chicken Man Tyson?
Is Tyson Chicken,
Okay.
yeah. Calipari and the Chicken Man, which is a great name for a documentary. I don't know if it is any good unless our buddy Bo, remember Bo Mattingly?
Bo Mattingly, Bo.
If Bo's did that, he's an Arkansas guy.
Well, it'd be a quick turnaround.
It would be a quick turnaround, but apparently that's coming out soon. I've seen everybody talking about that documentary coming, Bo and the Chicken Man, Calipari and the Chicken Man, unless I'm being spoofed there.
You never know this day and age. Like I could see it completely as a joke, but I could also see it completely as a documentary.
And when did you say it's coming out?
I don't know when it's coming out. I've just seen it being teased. You think I'm being spoofed?
No, not necessarily. I mean, if you were saying it's going to drop in June, then I'd be like, yeah, you are. But I mean, if they're just starting to work on it.
Yeah. Calipari and the Chicken Man. So maybe I'm being spoofed. I am at that age now where that happens occasionally. We'll find out. I mentioned unexpected preseason basketball top 25 team earlier. I'll get to that now before I tell you about our friends at Precision Sports Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Who do you think it is? And who do you think the coach is? That should have given it away right there.
Say it again.
Andy Kennedy in UAB.
It is not Andy Kennedy in UAB, but that's a good guess. I think they should be in the running.
What about Rick Pitino in St. John's?
No. A little bit more
modern.
A little bit more. I was going to say a little bit more dirtier.
Wow.
But
Than Rick Pitino?
But then I caught myself because it's Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have any organized crime coaches in the game, but
close.
Wow.
Think strong ass offer.
Oh, our guy Will Wade.
Yeah. According to the Field of 68 guys, they believe that the talent level supports that McNeese State, who was 30-4 last year, they've got almost everybody back, and they've added transfers from Ole Miss and other places. They believe McNeese State has a good chance, if people are paying attention and doing their job correctly, to be a preseason top 25 basketball team to start the year.
The only thing I disagree with on that is so much was made about them going into the NCAA tournament. You're basing a lot of this on the record last year, and we did it before the tournament. We told everybody before the tournament, you could buy into them if you want to be that sexy pick, but go look at their schedule. They played nobody. Their toughest game all year was UAB.
They were saying this. We could almost guarantee you they do not lose a conference game.
Yeah, I mean, they played nobody last year. Now, I don't know what Will Wade is going to do scheduling.
I just don't know how he's getting guys to McNeese.
I
mean, we knew that he could recruit, and part of that was big-ass offers. But to be able to pull kids to McNeese just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, there are ways around small town schools and their NIL. I mean, you just got to have one guy that can fund this, and I guess Will Wade has that one guy he knows.
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from the 32-win season last year because you mentioned UAB, they beat them handily.
Oh, they did.
They beat Michigan, which wasn't a good team, but they beat them by double digits.
Yeah, some football stuff to get to after I tell you about our friends at Precision Sports and Orthopedics. Summer means time for more outdoor activities and more chances for injuries. That's why Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help you out. Remember the number to schedule an appointment, 205-512-3885, 512-3885, or the website, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Did you pull something on the golf course, or lugging some luggage around, or something down to the beach, or playing pickleball, whatever you're doing? They're there to help you get healthy again and walk you through the rehab season. Also, your children are out playing sports in the summer. They're there for them too. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics can guide you on your journey back to health. Locations in Birmingham, Jasper, Talladega, Fultondale to Alabaster. Orthopedic care better together. That phone number again, 205-512-3885 or precisionsportsortho.com/2024. First off, we heard from Hugh Freeze earlier. Rockstar Gimme Cut number 4. This is that weird time of the year after graduation, before summer classes start. So it's about 3 weeks here. About 3 weeks here where the players are on their own. They're not in Tuscaloosa or Auburn or Baton Rouge or Knoxville or Athens.
Neither are the coaches. They're out raising money.
So I asked Kalen DeBoer about that. He's new to these guys. And here is my conversation in the Coca-Cola conversation room on our stage yesterday with the Alabama coach.
It's a brief moment of time now, but a moment of time where the players are sort of on their own as they go back home. Then they come back and settle into the workouts, and you build towards the season. Do you like the leadership group so far? Do you feel like that those guys have a handle on a team-led team?
Mm-hmm. I really do. And, I met with every guy right here at the end of spring ball after it was over for 1 week, just pretty much every day, 20 guys or so. And, the cool thing is here these next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot of guys getting together in different spots in the country. Some of them have these trainers, or some of them have a facility they can go to. Some are in cool spots where it's part vacation but just getting back to work. And I'm probably trying to temper them down to make sure they're not doing too much, because they do need this break mentally and physically. But I've got some really cool indicators that we have a player-led team, and these guys are really enjoying being around each other. Upwards of 20 to 30 guys finding a way to get in certain places to go work out, throw, lift, train, and that's really cool.
You always like to see that for any team, not just Alabama, where you're like, hey, there's the quarterback and 9 receivers. They're down on the beach in Gulf Shores, and they're down there throwing routes to each other, and then they're spending time at the Floribama or something like that. It's always good to see those guys getting together when they're off the campus, away from coaches or training staff, doing these workouts. You hear great stories about player-led teams doing that.
I wonder if Kalen will age like some coaches, because he really hasn't. He's been in the coaching game a long time, but he looks well-rested. He looks healthy. I just don't know when he sleeps. He's talking about meeting with 10 different guys a day or 20 guys a day. If he meets with those guys for 30 minutes, that's 10 hours just in his day.
Keep in mind, the wife and kid aren't in Tuscaloosa until they're through with school in Seattle. And then he.
So there's nothing to go home to.
Yeah, he's been parenting remotely a lot lately.
I would be, as a coach, if I hear that, I got this group of guys meeting in this part of the country, this group of guys meeting in this part of the country, something they don't have to do. That's unmonitored. You don't know that they're doing that. That is quite encouraging to me. On the leadership front, does that translate into wins and losses? It contributes to it. It doesn't necessarily directly translate it to. You can have great leaders that are crappy players, and it ain't going to do anything for you.
Our friends at Champy's Chicken bringing you this hour. One more thing before we get to trash coming up, and then our UFL interview to end the show. Champy's Chicken is right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. They bring you hour number 3 every day here on the show. Sterling and his crew, a staple on this show, and they're a staple now for a decade right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Brined overnight, which adds flavor down to the bone, and cooked to order deep southern fried chicken, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. It is champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com. Love those guys so much down there. LT got to ask Nick Saban yesterday, a Cut One rock star, about his preparation for the NFL draft. And we sent this out last night on social media, Little T and Forrester sending this out. This was a takeaway, if you will, from our interview, and it was an interesting answer. I wonder, like the corn flip from Terion, how much of this was in reality or half joking. Here's our conversation yesterday with Nick Saban.
Well, I tell you, one of those challenges, the NFL draft 2 weeks ago, I think we all agree. We talked about you were fantastic. And I know you're one of these guys that is so detailed and organized. How much prep did you put into that draft?
Well, quite a bit. During the first 3 rounds, I probably looked at 200 players, sort of looked at them just like I was getting ready for the draft, which I had done for 8 years in the NFL. So did sheets on all of them, graded them all, talked to probably a dozen GMs, about our players as well as, some other players and how they thought the top of the board at least would, go. But 14 straight offensive players.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Offensive players in the first round out of 32. That's why I retired.
Reality or not?
Why you retired?
Yeah. You think it had any influence at all?
No.
Well,
I think it's a good line.
It is a good line, but I think it's a broader just part of the game is changing so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everything contributed in the NIL and the transfer portal and, the fact that it is becoming apparently a more offensive game. Though you gave the guy Matt Miller yesterday or the other day that said that it's probably, the indications show it's going to be the exact opposite in next year's draft. That it's probably going to be heavy defense early.
I mean, there'll obviously be your quarterback reaches early on, but more defense in the first round than offense next year, according to Matt Miller.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the case. That's easy to say now, but you don't know who's got the picks and all that stuff.
Regionstradition.com all weekend out there. When the weather clears, the golf will be fantastic. You can be out there. It's a great social event and a great sporting event all rolled into one, regionstradition.com. I'm told by some people in Tuscaloosa that the DeBoers are actually en route. The cross-country drive is happening as we speak.
At the Oregon Trail.
Would you enjoy that? You've done it.
Yeah, I would.
I've almost done it.
And especially like if you've got DeBoer money. I did it when I was completely poor.
Yeah.
But being able to stay at nice hotels on the way, stop, you take your time.
I love to drive.
Jennifer and I did it when I was paying off the bracket bet and had to drive out to Roswell.
But you have to admit, you guys have been married a long time now. What, 27 years?
24.
24 years.
This year. It'll be 24 this year.
And I remember her and you, when you got back, talking about how much fun y'all had together on the drive.
We had a blast. Yeah. But we were under a time crunch, too. We were having to do that in a time crunch. Given time, I think I would really enjoy it, actually.
Yeah.
Maggie has always wanted to do it. And when our kids were little, she was like, and I never could take off. I didn't want to take off because I love what I do. I should have done it. She was like, just take off 3 weeks. Use all your vacation at one time. Take off and let's just drive across America with the kids. And I never did it.
Can I give you guys an idea? You tell me what you think of this idea. Rockstar, tell me what you think of this idea. I had it the other day. I was going somewhere and I got rerouted by Waze onto some back roads. And I was like, and it was one of those reroutes by Waze where like you turn on this road, turn here, get back on that road, get back, turn here. I mean, it was one of those crazy reroutes.
Yeah.
And I end up on a bunch of these back roads, which I don't mind. I like back roads. And I started thinking, like, if you had nothing else to do, would you enjoy, like, maybe one day just driving with no Waze, no maps, no nothing? And you just turn wherever you want to turn, and when it's time to eat, you just find a restaurant. You don't even know where you are.
Brown, they used to do that, really. A Sunday drive is what it was called. Back in the old days, you would go on a Sunday drive with no destination. You would just go out and drive.
Yeah, but I remember the Sunday drive, my old man, because I had to hand him beer out of the back seat, but
that doesn't seem right.
They think it was illegal.
I put him in the back.
But at least you knew like the roads, like where you were and stuff. I think what he's saying is completely get lost.
You're in the middle of Oklahoma, say. Yeah. All right. And you're just driving and turning wherever you want to turn. And it's like a good restaurant. Let's go have lunch there. And then you find a hotel somewhere and you just stay there. You don't even know where the crap you are. I think I'd enjoy that.
One of my lifelong friends, one great memory they have is right before their senior year of college, boyfriend, girlfriend, they just jumped in a car and they drove all the way up to what's the big park that you went
to?
Yellowstone. Drove up there and drove back, and just they had the time of their lives before their senior year in college. Just the two of them on the road all summer long. Just that's relaxing. That's vacation. Yeah. I mean, when we go on vacation, sometimes you're down there and we've got to go. We rented chairs. We got to go spend time in those chairs down by the beach. There's 1,000 people all within 100 feet of each other on that beach, and we're going to dip into the water, and then we got to go stand in line at Red Bar, or we got to do this or that. That's not relaxing. I mean, that's relaxing when you just hop in a car and you don't know where you're going, man. It's just go.
If we didn't have kids, I'd be all about calling our boy Nick Johnston, getting a Johnston RV and do like a summer tour of Major League Baseball stadium.
I wish we could. The video aspect of our show makes it super complicated on doing that, but I would have no problem in grabbing one of those RVs and just doing a road trip and us do the show from wherever the crap we are.
Well, our buddy Leland has done that before on News Talk.
Yeah. On 99.5 here in Birmingham, he did it. And but he was only doing audio, which makes it much easier.
Yeah.
They're audio only. When we add the video in, it complicates it a lot. I'd be all about it. I'd love it. Like, could you imagine us? Where are y'all doing the show from today? Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's where we ended up last night. We're in Tulsa.
Brown, they've got satellite internet now. I bet we can make it work.
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
Starlink is cheap.
Yeah.
Like a $500 holding fee.
I mean,
how
long
it's a road
do you...
trip with one. I mean, Kelsey could sell 62 sponsors for this like that if we were doing Cross America. And Johnson RV would pick up the tab for our Starlink internet.
Gas is cheap for those things.
I mean, we probably could get U.S. Army to sponsor this and
do flyovers every show.
The U.S. Army could link us up to their technology to do a show.
We were with a sitting senator yesterday who invited us to do the show from his office. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah. He didn't say you threw in his office. He meant up in the area. Like,
well, he said, y'all come up and do the show with me one day. I said, do the show from your office? Yeah.
That's
what he said.
How many staffers did he say he had working for him?
50-something, I thought.
58.
Yeah.
After we talked about the number of,
I caught that.
of government employees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you've got 58 staffers?
I caught that. That did not bypass me, but
so 58 times 100.
Yeah, I mean, Senator Tuberville essentially invited us to do the show from his office. Now, I don't really desire to do that.
I picture we'd be doing it from the rotunda.
Oh, you're going to hate that echo.
Oh, I will.
Somebody will be out there.
I'm going to hate a lot of stuff about that.
Cleaning the floors.
We got protesters. That's going to be a disastrous place to do a show.
Down with America.
Where they're like, first down. Bigger threat to the United States. China?
Better president. All right. Trash is coming up on the other side. The show being brought to you today by our friends at Hemp Hill LT. Tell us about Hemp Hill as we head to break here.
Trusted name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. That is our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys today, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, you can always go online. Go to hemphillservices.com.
Follow Sean Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Back with you on the next round. Before LT tells us about Woodhouse Day Spa on this very important Mother's Day weekend, Steve Albini passed away, rock star. Best known for record producer, the second album of Nirvana, In Vitro.
In Utero.
In Utero. In Vitro. Forrester even laughed. Come on, man.
We've all been there, guys.
He poured his heart into it, Rockstar.
They had
such a touching obituary. Yeah.
They had just had the 30th anniversary of that, and they had a whole Spotify special with Dave Grohl and Christopher Selleck talking with Steve Albini about how they did the album and how Kurt Cobain loved it and he hated Nevermind. And it's sad, but it's a great podcast. Dave Grohl he's doing it right. He's just incredible to be a guy that's just. He's like a Charles Barkley. He embraces every fan. He'll do any guest sponsor you want, spot you want. It's just so I'm glad that he came out of that like how he did. But Steve Albini was a great producer.
What was that documentary? I think it was on HBO, Rockstar. I always ask you. I never remember it, but it's Dave Grohl and the guys. They go around to music studios around the country.
They were oh god,
and they actually went to Steve Albini's one in Chicago.
Yeah,
where
they go to each city and they go try to embrace that city's sound. So Chicago is more of a blues. So they try to write a blues song with a producer. Somebody in the chat's going to know. It was like they released the album. It was probably a 7-8 part series.
Yeah, they did an album off the songs they wrote while they were on the road.
Yeah. I mean, he's done everything. They made a movie. It bombed, but still, like
Sonic Highways.
Yes, Sonic Highways.
Says,
That's very good. Something like that. Daniel says that's an instant trash open for sure.
Yes.
Right there. Tell us about Woodhouse Day Spa.
Look, the weekend coming up, Mother's Day weekend, you want to take care of Mom. How about the gift of luxury from Birmingham's Best Day Spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, located at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. You order that gift card online for Mom. She can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's Best Day Spa since 2009. Order that special gift online for Mom this weekend. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. They can send it directly to Mom, or you can stop in and see Stuart and all the guys located at the Summit Shopping Centers and tell them the next round sent you.
Rockstar, I don't know what's happening on all my feeds now, and one of them was on Stern. Kate Hudson's a singer now?
Yeah, I saw that. Like I was telling Scott, like that popped up on my feed that she covered. She has a band, and I don't know if she's doing original music, but of course they did the setup where he teased, like, you guys were sound checking that great Stone Temple Pilots song, and she's like, oh, Vaseline. He's like, yeah, could y'all play that right now?
Can we get that in?
Do it.
You guys got my capo?
And they of course they do it. Like, it's not great, but she's not bad.
No, it had a.
I never knew she was a singer.
No, me either. There was one song I saw. I don't know if it's original or not, but it had a Grace Potter theme, sort of sound. It.
She's got that kind of vibe going.
You would think if she was a singer, she would have done something Almost Famous. I mean, she sang a little Tiny Dancer.
Good point, yeah.
Just a little bit of Tiny Dancer there. Great scene.
I've got hiccups for the first time, I think, ever on the air. I don't know how.
Ever. Mm-hmm. Perfect time for trash at the open.
Yeah. Confirming the ground is now good to say. Oh, you've been joined by a beautiful lady.
No, it's a man, actually, Derek.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right.
Really
Mortgages done the right way.
In vitro, by the way, does not pass Emily Grace's Yosemite. There's no way that passes Yosemite.
I don't know.
Close. You guys are neck and neck.
Spring buying season, and our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. They were veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country, and while the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans hasn't changed. It's going to be tough. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. You can go online, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239.
Isn't it funny that that's the way that in the 50s and 60s in theater, that's the way drunks were supposed to sound?
Yeah.
They'd always have the hiccups.
Lance is going to try to fix it with a cold Bud Light. That's going to be his fix there. You want to read the first story?
Probably Estella right there. First story in trash today.
First story. Florida man, Rockstar. We got Florida man back in trash. Has invented a new way to cut a grilled cheese sandwich.
In vitro?
Ryan Duff posted a photo of a ham and cheese sandwich on X, formerly known as Twitter.
I like this.
Well, this is interesting. So he cuts it, for those of you that can't see, he cuts it with a Y instead of in half.
I like this.
It is a Y cut. Now, this got 19 million views. Perfect toast job, they say. Little too much toast for me. What tickled the internet's fancy, though, was the way Duff sliced a sandwich. Until now, most people likely believe there are only two or three ways to cut a sandwich, horizontally, diagonally, or vertically. He has introduced the Y cut. Now, it's different from any other sandwich slicing methods. It required just one slicing motion. The Y cut achieved with 3 distinct knife movements. It creates 3 pieces of sandwich instead of 2. You're still getting the same amount of sandwich, though. Why do you like this so much?
Just because of the exposure you get of the bread and crust combination there.
That makes no sense. If I would have done a Y cut, I wouldn't have posted it. Like, who would have thought anybody would even talk about this?
Okay, but
2 extra cuts.
Usually you do it across the middle, or you do corner to corner, diagonal or horizontal,
or you just don't cut it.
Well, but this is a hard cut to make because you don't cut it all the way through anywhere. It's going to be like cut.
That's a pizza cutter.
Cut.
When you make at home, if you make a turkey sandwich or something like that, do you cut it?
I do not. I do not like cutting my sandwiches.
I always cut my hamburger, though.
I never cut my hamburger, and I get frustrated. I don't get frustrated with people that do, but
you do. Go ahead and say it. You get frustrated when I cut my hamburger.
I don't care what you do with your hamburger. I'm just saying I never cut my hamburger. My hamburger is one big piece.
Yeah, I like to cut my hamburger.
Why?
See, I don't cut my own stuff, but when Maddie prepares something, she will cut the sandwich or the burger, which I like.
I like cutting the sandwich, especially if I'm dipping it in like chili or something. I cut the hamburger brownie because oftentimes, sadly, the meat doesn't hang off the bun, and I don't like to have a bite of nothing but just bread.
Oh, so the bread to meat ratio is off. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't mind the bread bite every now and then.
Oh, I like to have meat in every bite.
Meat to bread ratio is hugely important in any sandwich or burger.
Although you put the condiments on the burger, do you guys ever dip the burger into the condiments?
Oh, absolutely. I'll dip a burger in barbecue sauce in a heartbeat.
Or I'll like if some of it is spilled out, I'll soak it up. I'll drag it across the plate and take a bite out of that.
There is one thing I've been planning to do for the last couple of years, still have not done it, and that is play pickleball.
A lot of people doing it now.
They swear by it. Yeah. Man faces charges after allegedly threatening a group of Southwest Florida pickleball players with a machete late Saturday night.
Good hair.
Now look at that evil smile.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at the photographer's waistline.
Yeah. County Sheriff's Office received a call shortly before midnight regarding a man threatening people at pickleball courts at the Pelican Marsh Community Center. Upon arrival, deputies encountered the suspect, identified as 54-year-old Joseph Duvall. Witnesses reported Duvall displayed signs of alcohol intoxication.
Imagine that.
Now, according to the police report, Duvall approached the courts in an aggressive manner, yelling at the players. Further report details Duvall kicking over chairs, pushing them around. Situation escalated when Duvall reportedly retrieved a machete from his vehicle.
A high volume of stories of trash that involve a machete.
You
A lot of people have them. It's weird.
And White Man Can't Jump when he's like, I'm going to get my car and I'm going to kill all you guys. They all scatter.
Go to my car, get my other gun, kill everybody.
Now, Duvall later claimed to deputies that he felt threatened by the players after they suggested he, quote, make them leave the court.
You make me leave, man.
Well, he tried to get them to make them leave.
I'll go get my machete.
Now, he stated that he retrieved the machete to intimidate the players and make them depart. Fortunately, no injuries were reported during the incident. He was arrested, charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intention to kill.
He does have a sadistic smile, though. He's a little too happy to be in a...
This is interesting. We know Taylor Swift tickets are insane, right?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty expensive. By the way, who was the comedian I like? Nikki Glaser?
Yeah.
She was getting rave reviews after the Tom Brady roast, so she's made the circuit. And she was telling Jimmy Kimmel she spent $25,000 on Taylor Swift tickets during this tour. Different stops, but $25,000.
She must be making a lot on the roast tour.
She is.
Thousands of ride or die Taylor Swift fans who missed out on the U.S. concert tour last year or didn't want to buy those crazy price tickets to see her again found an out-of-the-way solution. Fly to Europe.
Fly to Europe, cheaper.
Pop star is scheduled to kick off 18-city Europe leg of her record-setting Eras tour in Paris on Thursday. Plane loads of Swifties plan to follow her across the pond in the coming weeks. The arena where Swift is appearing said America's bought 20% of the tickets for her 4 sold-out shows.
Europe does everything backwards, LT. I thought that was September 5th. It's actually May 9th.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is confusing.
She got 4 nights in a row in France.
Yeah.
Or a show like that, 4 nights in a row is going to kill you.
So she's just spending a week at each spot, basically.
The tour's second spot is in Stockholm. And Stockholm expects to have 10,000 of their concert goers from the U.S.
Wow. That's where it got confusing for me, Rockstar. I was like, what month is 21?
I was going to say, like, damn, she's changing our calendar.
Taylor's on a time machine.
It's the Swift calendar.
You know, I was supposed to go to Europe last year on May 1st. And, you know, some things happened and the trip got canceled and lost some money off that. But I had tickets to see Duran Duran in O2 Arena. And more so, I like Duran Duran, but I thought it would be cool on their turf and going to O2 because I'd never been. But, you know, if I go to Europe, it's probably not going to be for a concert or at least to see Taylor Swift.
Vienna, Austria, at all those. I had a friend that lived in Vienna and says it is incredible.
Yeah, you can do the beer tour.
Yeah.
So they've got some cool different, like, if you want to do 3 different countries.
Yeah.
I'd like to go see Gelsenkirchen, Germany.
Oh, is that where you go?
Yeah, Gelsenkirchen.
I'd like to go to Hamburg.
I'll tell you, man, going to Wembley to see her would be cool, though.
Would be really cool. Historic vibes there. You know, you lost some money on that last May 1st. You did not lose your Miss Pac-Man last May 1st, though.
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. Best breakfast cereals of all time, according to Ranker.com. Number 10 on the list. I like it. It is the Apple Jacks.
I love Apple Jacks.
I think they're really, really good.
Yeah, Apple Jacks are fantastic.
Don't like it.
All right.
Really?
They
What
got
don't
rid
you
of the
like
sugar.
about it?
Like if you eat one now, it's not the way you remembered it in the 80s.
Oh, I've had Apple Jacks recently. They're still good.
No, they got rid of a lot of the sugar.
Okay.
I like that has cinnamon. I don't like cinnamon.
I'm not a
usually.
huge cinnamon guy, but it seems like a good balance.
Okay, number 9. This is a cereal that I bought 2 weeks ago. It's the first cereal I bought in a long time.
Good cereal.
Yeah.
And I got up 4 straight nights at like 3 in the morning and ate a bowl. So I knocked out the entire box in 4 consecutive nights. And it is nothing but sugar.
Yeah, honey bunches of oats for those that
I
are
did
watching.
the strawberry one.
Interesting.
Number 8, I do not like this. I did kind of as a kid. Cocoa
not a
Pebbles.
fan.
Did not.
Completely jacks the milk
Yeah,
up.
not a fan.
Yeah, I prefer Sugar Smacks, old school, compared to Cocoa Pebbles or Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah,
I like
number
better.
7 is Fruity Pebbles,
I like
which
them
is
better.
better.
I can handle Fruity Pebbles. Yep.
Bonnie.
Number 6, I think it's one of the maybe Mount Rushmores for me.
Love Fruit Loops. Yeah.
I did always feel like is Fruity Pebbles is it post?
Yes.
Okay. I always felt like when I had Fruity Pebbles, we couldn't afford Fruit Loops.
Yeah, you just got this flakes.
It does seem like Post is the CBS studio for NFL.
Yeah.
And Kellogg's is more the Fox.
I was like, oh, Fruity Pebbles.
Number 5 on the list. It's my favorite. It's a lot of
I
people's
love
favorites.
Lucky Charms.
Can't stand them.
Love Lucky
I hate the
Charms.
marshmallows.
I'm not a big marshmallow guy, but for whatever reason,
Yeah.
that balance is just
Lucky
perfect.
Charms are excellent.
It's
Yeah.
a crappy list so far.
Oh,
If we don't get to any Captain Crunches pretty soon.
Where's grape nuts? Where's total?
Number 4, by the way, it is so overrated because of what it does to your mouth, and it is Captain
Captain
It's
Crunch.
not
Crunch,
LT. It's the greatest cereal of all time.
You got to have Crunch Berries in there to be great.
No,
but Captain Crunch is good.
I don't like Crunch Berries. This is the cereal of my
God,
childhood.
What do you like?
I mean, I do appreciate the fact that you see their slogan there, stays crunchy even in milk, which most cereals don't, but it will just bang the mouth up so bad.
It is, but LT, it is sweetened corn and oat cereal.
Okay.
I mean, I love it.
I like the next one. Supposed to be good for your heart. Number 3 is the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, I mean, you could leave or take them, but they're good when you have a bowl. I don't.
Fantastic when you're a young father. When you got a kid, you
Yeah,
got to have
no
a bag
doubt,
of these
no
around.
doubt.
Nonstop.
You got to have a bag of these around, man.
Number 2, the Frosted Flake. I used to love it as a kid.
Boy, I tell you what, man, they go limp quick.
I told you I used to
They
put
do.
sugar on my
Cereal
Frosted
does
Flakes.
too.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Sugar on your Frosted
Yeah.
Flakes? Oh, no, you can't have enough sugar on cereal.
And number
I
one,
liked them. I didn't love them. I was a Captain Crunch over Frosted Flakes.
Number 1 to me is overrated. I like it, but I don't love it. You guys want to guess? Well, there it is.
Hate it.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I like
Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Hate it.
I don't hate it. I think it's okay.
I don't
It
love
wouldn't be a
cinnamon.
number 1.
Cinnamon. That's pretty big flavor there.
Their mascot is looking at his dead friends like, damn.
Oh, you're in a bowl.
I am not getting in there at all. What happened to you guys? Yeah, not a big fan of that. What's missing? What was missing off that list?
I mean,
Captain Crunch Berries.
Staples Cheerios isn't good. The
yeah.
regular Cheerios.
Tricks wasn't
Life.
on there,
Tricks.
which is basically Fruit Loops.
Yeah, Rice Krispies were not on there.
Cocoa
Terrible.
Puffs.
Hate Rice Krispies.
Mr. T cereal.
That was
I like
good.
God, there's some
Cookie Crisp. You remember that guy?
Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, I didn't like those either. Too crunchy.
Raisin Bran.
Blueberry Crunch.
Blueberry Crunch was legit. And
Now, Raisin Bran, that is interesting because that is, I mean, that would be a Mount Rushmore for some people.
Raisin Bran Crunch is incredible.
I don't like raisins.
I like Raisin Bran.
I don't love raisins. I've eaten Raisin Bran before. It's not my go-to. Maggie has some really gut healthy cereals in the house right now.
Does she eat grape nuts?
And they're not grape nuts, but they're some serious
I don't
stuff.
eat cereal for
Colon blow.
Yeah, I've got some kind of healthy cereal in the house too, and it's good.
Hunter Bussy. Hunter, man. Peanut butter Captain Crunch can heal
Hard
villages.
pass.
Can heal villages. You don't like peanut butter, though.
No, I don't.
See, I love peanut butter. I've never had the peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Did you remember like honeycomb? But you
Oh,
had
I
it-
liked honeycomb.
But it was a massive ass box.
Yeah.
Because the thing's so big.
Yeah, because the comb, you can only have one comb a bite.
I know.
It'll take you an hour to finish your cereal.
Yeah, they were air frisbees, basically, is what they were. That's Trash, brought to you by Mortgage Right.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process so easy. Remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing. Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for all mortgages. 205-900-7200. Tell them the Next Round sent you. For more information, mortgageright.com. By the way, the hiccup stopped with the cold.
Very good. Champy's Chicken bringing you this hour. We will talk to a champion in Carlos Davis when we come back. Big game. Stallions, unbeaten. St. Louis, 1 loss. 3 o'clock Protective Stadium. Let's sell the dang thing out. Cheer on the Stallions. We'll talk to the Big DT next.
Follow the Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Birmingham, your Stallions take on former Crimson Tide quarterback A.J. McCarron and the St. Louis Battlehawks on Saturday, May 11th at 3 p.m. It's Braves Day. You get to meet Braves mascot Blooper and get a free custom baseball card. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-field opportunities for the kids, and elite professional football. Tickets start at just $10. Buy yours today at theufl.com. With only 3 home games left this season, don't miss the chance to cheer on the unbeaten Stallions. Let's pack protective.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Okay, so we are 5 minutes late getting to Stallions defensive tackle Carlos Davis because we are not a respecter of his personal time, and we apologize to Big Carlos for that.
It's on us, man.
It's on us, Carlos. Very serious show you're coming on to. We were late because we were debating the top 10 cereals of all time. So I know you were listening to that like, what have they signed me up for here?
I was. You guys are very entertaining.
Oh, that's kind of you to say.
What's your favorite cereal? Do you ever eat a cereal?
Not recently, but I heard you guys talking about Raisin Bran Crunch. I'm a big Cinnamon Toast and Reese's Puffs type of guy.
Oh, my son likes Reese's Puffs.
Hey, before we get into Stallions, can we talk about Nebraska football a little bit? Because we've all been around Nebraska football a little bit. We've watched it our entire lives. One of the greatest fan bases, the nicest fan bases out there. But obviously it's been dark times. Matt Rule takes over. Looks like it's trending in the right direction. I mean, just your experience as a Cornhusker and being around those fans.
Yeah. I mean, the fans are diehard. I mean, that's why you go there. You get to play in front of 90,000 every week. But they're loyal, they're good, and they're always gonna support the Husker Nation. So I'm a diehard black shirt former alumni. And me and my brother are actually about to get a black shirt tattoo here soon.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that.
Matt Rule's going to get him back, Carlos. He's going to get him back. That guy can coach.
I like him. I got to go down, not this past spring game, but the one before, and I got to see him down there, and I like what I see so far. So,
yeah, but as far as winning, you're doing a lot of that this year with the Stallions. What do you think it is about Skip and Coach Chavis and this coaching staff that have done this now with 3 different rosters? What do you think the hidden ingredient is on how this coaching staff can turn you guys into such a machine?
I had an interview before, and I kind of told him, like, Skip, the way he runs this team is very professional. It's almost like we're in the NFL. He treats us like NFL guys. But you always know what you're going to get from Skip. He's always the same. He takes care of us, and he really just lets us play, lets the players play.
There has to be a winning culture, though. Carlos Davis is with us, the Stallions defensive tackle. What makes it such a winning culture? Because this is uncommon in professional sports, what you guys have been able to do, or what this team has been able to do over the last 3 years.
I'd say just the camaraderie of the team, like everybody, offense, defense, we get along, and that plays a huge difference in the play, and you guys get to see that on the field every week. We really support each other. When stuff doesn't go our way during the game, we don't ever panic. We just figure it out and we move on. So I just say the team bonding. It really helps gel the team together, and it shows up on Sunday or Saturday.
So, Carlos, a lot of people believe this is a preview for the potential championship matchup later this season with St. Louis and you guys. A.J. McCarron, for our listeners and viewers, probably the big story. He is a very experienced professional quarterback. When you watch A.J. on film, how different is he from what you saw in Alabama to where he is right now?
I didn't really pay a lot of attention to Alabama, but I do know a little bit about AJ just watching him from film, and he's a good quarterback, and he does some really great things. And this week we're going to try to make him as uncomfortable as we can this week.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, uncomfortable. When John Chavis says that, the defensive coordinator, usually means you are going to blitz and light him up. Is that right?
Hey, I won't tell too much, but we definitely gonna be trying to get him on the ground.
Yeah.
I will say you
he
seem
blitzes every play. I mean, you're not hiding anything. Y'all never just send the minimum number. Y'all blitzing every damn play.
Am I wrong? But does Carlos seem like the nicest defensive tackle you could meet?
You really are. We've never talked to you, and that jumped out at me. I would qualify you as soft-spoken. You seem like an incredibly nice guy.
Where's the mean edge?
I am, but when the game comes on, it's a flip that switches. So you guys get to see this version, but if we play together, you'd be like, man, I don't want to be next to this guy. Who is this? It's like a whole different person out there. But
so you're almost like a wrestler. Like you see those wrestlers, they're different when they get in the ring. Like when you get in the ring, you become a different person.
Yes. Essentially, yes.
Essentially.
Yeah. Hey, Skip's an offensive coach. Do you guys, our buddy Joel Klatt has tried in the broadcast. Joel comes on our show all the time, and he's tried in the Fox broadcast to talk up the defense. He says, watching these guys over the last couple of years and now this year, it's not just Skip's offense. This team wins with defense. Do you guys think you get enough respect defensively?
I do. We just want to be the best we can be. We're trying to lead the league in every category. We're trying to do it all. We're trying to do it big, and we're just taking it one week at a time, 1-0.
Oh, this is where we enter the cliches. 1 week at a time, 1-0. Okay, I hear you. We touched too much of football on now. He doesn't want to say too much about getting AJ on his backside.
All right, but you were an All-American in Nebraska in track and field. Do I get that right?
Yes, sir. Two-time.
Okay.
Shot put, I'm going to assume.
No,
not the hurdles, 100-meter hurdles.
Long distance runner, right?
Yeah, so we're going super stereotypical. It has to be shot
put. No. And discus. And discus.
See, there was the hidden. So 2-time All-American in discus. What is the gap between a 2-time All-American discus thrower and somebody that could qualify for the men's Olympic team?
Well, I know if you want to, you really try to be in the top 16 in the country, and then it drops down to 8, and you need to be throwing at least close to 200 feet, if not further. So I was able to throw 191, and really to get you out of regionals, you need to throw anywhere from like 185 and up.
Right. So making an Olympic team, I mean, that would have you weren't quite there yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, were you on the verge of maybe being able to be good enough to qualify for the Olympics?
I always tell Khalil or everybody, if we just did track, we could have definitely been on an Olympic team.
Wow.
But the demand from football and track together, it was just a lot.
What's that spin you do called? Does it have a name as you spin to throw the disc?
It's really just a spin, man. It's how fast you can move in the rain.
Yeah.
Being a former shot put guy, like if you were in the local apartment complex pool, how far could you throw a 20-pound kid?
I'd probably say at least 20 feet, maybe somewhere around there.
It's a good way to shock the parents.
Yeah, I don't think a 20-pound kid can swim yet, too. That's the problem.
It depends.
We're going from the deep end to the shallow end at that point.
Carlos, he's 6'2". He can get the deep end.
Hey, how important is it to have a big crowd in a game like this? I know it juices the place up a little bit, but do you want this to be the crowd of the year?
Well, really, I want the championship to be the crowd of the year, but this game is if not going to be one of the biggest of the season for us. Because, I mean, they claim they have the best defense, but we feel like we're the best defense, and it's going to be a good battle, man. It's going to be a good battle.
It's going to be funny if it ends up being 42-38. Then it's going to be like neither one of these defenses were any good. It's all offense.
None of that.
None of that. Hey, good luck, Carlos, Saturday down at Protective Stadium. We're pulling for you guys, so Birmingham get the big win.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Hey, thank you very much. We
Appreciate
appreciate your
you so
patience
much.
with us. Carlos with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Birmingham and St. Louis, top two teams in the league, Saturday down at Protective, 3 o'clock.
Hey, remind you, we just sold a couple of more golf cards. They are running out. Your chance to get the golf card if you go to nextround.store. Those 4 great courses right there: Woodward, Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, great courses. Some of you will be playing there this weekend or Friday afternoon. Urology Centers of Alabama brings you the golf card. Go at nextround.store and enjoy that. Also, buy some gear this weekend. We got a special coming up here very soon that will involve Brownie's delivery. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later on this spring. And also, we are through taking voter requests. Hundreds of ballots are in.
Yeah?
We will be sending an email. If you want to be a voter and you signed up nextround.store, pay attention today to your inbox. And maybe tomorrow morning, if you haven't gotten something, check your, what's it called?
Spam?
Spam. Check your spam. We're going to be sending them out. You got to get them back in quick. We're going to close the voting on Sunday. Same for you guys. I'll be hitting you up for your top 25. We want to have the voting closed by Sunday. And we'll start our 40 and 40 next week, presented by our friends at mybookie.ag. Thank you guys for show 700 or 684, whichever way you're counting. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. And don't forget the Coca-Cola conversations and everything else dropping on our platforms. God bless you. God bless America.